I broke the mold. Really in this business of investing, but I win the most. Cruising when it's 2 a.m. Bodies hanging at the benches. Drive me to the nearest liquor store to celebrate again. Oh, it's all mine, mine, in good time. It's all mine, yeah, good time.
Hold up, wait a minute, stop. I don't even need you anymore, I'm on the top. I've been on a roll, you've been on a drop. I can't give you lessons and this shit is hard rock. This ain't new to me. She just sent 140 notes to me. Dripping YSL, these bitches using me. I can't give a damn cause I've been through the rain.
I seen you put the lipstick in the Prada, you moving on the floor. Nice, young, and the vibe is electric. The bankroll at my door.
I feel my senses overload, wildin' cause I broke the mold. Really in this business of investing, but I win the most. Cruising when it's 2 a.m. Bodies hanging at the benches. Drive me to the nearest liquor store to celebrate again. Oh, it's so
long hair, brown eyes, ooh girl, you so fine. Ooh, good God, thick guys, I let you stride. Let's talk about this situation. You know you're looking good, that ass is pure temptation. Beat it up. Let me know when you're heading up. Not yet, well, gon' baby, suck it up. Do it so good, make a brother wanna cut a rug. Time flies when you sit it on my taste buds. Tastes good.
All right. Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Xenon Gaming League. I'm here with my co-caster, Mystrierik.
Hey, what's up, man? How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited to get this map kind of underway. We're sorry about the delays. There's some issues with map bans and just some other technical things on our side. So thank you for sticking with us on that point. I do believe we are about ready to display the map bans pretty soon, if they're up on your screen already.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay. It does look like we are going to Chalet. Okay, that's not a crazy map to go here right before the playoffs. Excuse me. Both of these teams, of course, having already secured their spot in the playoffs within their division. So there's not too much on the line here. This is just a seeding match more than anything. So yeah, it makes sense that you don't want to go to someplace crazy, which is unfortunate, right? Because we always love those maps. You get on skyscraper, theme park, border, like that, those style of maps. But makes a little bit of sense, unfortunately, that we don't get to see that here. And it's a map that Valence has played quite a few times this season as well, and they've got a pretty good win rate on it as well.
and thankfully, we're not going to be playing on another basic match. We do have Chalet. It's not going to be another Oregon, not going to be another clubhouse match. So it's going to be pretty interesting. I want to say at the get-go, I feel like this might end up being more of a attacker sided.
Mm-hmm.
It might be more attacker sided. So I feel like Valence might be pulling this out. Valence is on attack, I believe, right?
They're on defense starting off.
Oh no, no, it's gonna be zero risk. I thought that Valence was the one who was gonna be on attack for this
Yeah.
first game, but apparently not.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of time here before we actually get the match started. So let's kind of talk about the operator bans on this map. Um, I think there's a little bit of variety here. I think most notably is that Thatcher has some presence on this map, but not like a lot. It's like that happy medium between. What's the map? There's one map in the pool right now that Thatcher's just completely useless on, and I'm blanking on it right now.
Uh
Anyways, it's not one of those maps, but it's also not one of those maps like Clubhouse where you feel like you have to pick him every time that he's left up. So it's this nice happy medium that we've got going on here. So he could be left up, he could be banned away. It's just kind of team choice, and it's been pretty consistent throughout the rest of the season. The teams are banning him out here, but then you got to remember that that's leaving something else up. I think very notably Flores, incredibly powerful on this map, as well as Finca. Like even though she's like meta in general right now, for some reason, something about this map, never having to reload, gives you such a comfort blanket as you're trying to clear all of these really wide angles. Plus the 2 frag grenades gone 6. It's just a match made in heaven for a map like this.
yes, especially because Finca has all those utilities that you just mentioned. She has the nade, she has the Gon 6, she has the LMG. So she has all of that util that she can use to clear out and make way for being able to push into that site. And we're honestly at the point where LMGs are the meta right now. We know that they're probably going to try next season to pretty much nerf the LMGs because it has been a problem. A lot of people have argued about whether LMGs are just too overpowered, which in my opinion, I believe they are. However, it's not the discussion for today. The discussion is this Chalet map. Who do we think is going to be rising to the top today? Who do we think is going to be bringing out the dub? And what do we think the prediction is for Zero Risk
Uh,
versus Valence?
you want mine first, man? I'll give it to you pretty straightforward.
All right.
I think Zero Risk wins the 7-4, 7-5, somewhere in there. I have faith in the boys. They're starting on attack and they get attack in overtime as well if that's something they want to go to. So I think just overall it'll look good for them.
All right, but the game is going to start. I'm gonna have to agree with you on Zero Risk, but let's get to the operator bans.
Yeah, Valence, of course, being on defense gets the first and last ban, so they get to at least show us what they're thinking about for this first offender ban, locking it in relatively quickly here too. So it's probably not going to be something crazy. This is going to be Flores, so that's an operator that I
Going to
didn't
be
get to
Flores.
mention in that preparation that we were talking about before the map actually started there. So yeah, it's a very powerful operator. Just the ability to make bar a significantly worse site is, I believe, a very powerful tool to just kind of get rid of. It really lowers the impact one mic can have. The second ban, it is going to be Thatcher, so a little bit boring there, and it does mean that those LMGs that you got to talk about are going to be in the game still.
Yep, especially we have Zofio, we have Gridlock, we have Capital, we have Finca. It's just a whole lot of LMGs that could be played and most likely will be played. They're going to
Ooh.
ban that mute, trying to get rid of that drone. I mean, they're trying to make it so that they can drone anything possible. Most likely, we will probably see Mozzie being played here, trying to get rid of those drones and not give them much intel. But we'll have to see how
Oh,
that goes.
okay.
And another Cade ban.
Yeah,
So we're gonna go pretty simplistic here in a way. So what do you
yeah.
think about that ban?
The Kaid ban I really don't like. I don't think Kaid does much of anything on this map, to be completely honest. But the Mute ban I really like. This is one of Mute's best maps in the entire pool right now. There's a lot of concrete floors, especially in that upstairs area, that you can place those Mute jammers on that really make droning an absolute pain. And especially with how teams like Valence like to play this map, they're often picking the Oryx and +1 extra roamer, sometimes the Zombie Alibi, those kind of operators, and really being able to deny the drone's ability to move around makes it significantly harder to clear them out. And now that Mute is gone, so you are correct. Like, they've got to lean more into the Mozzie, but Mozzie doesn't do the same thing that Mute does. You can be willing, excuse me, to drive one drone into a Mozzie pass just to get rid of it. You can't do that with a Mute. A Mute jammer will take as many drones as you want. Mozzie pass only get one. I really like that ban from Zero Risk, and it kind of goes into what I was talking about earlier, where I think they're just very comfortable on this map and they know how they want to attack it if they're banning operators like Mute.
Yeah, honestly, that mute ban was probably going to be one of their biggest bans here yet. And I think it's going to help them be able to push this site a little bit more quicker pace and more aggressively. They're going to get that intel and exactly what they need in order to push that site. So we're going to see how they're going to try to approach this on the attacker side. Now, we do see Lemon and Bar at the moment. Let's see how the attackers are approaching the site. We see a little bit of players spread out throughout the map.
Yeah, it's that play from Mr. Alex player right there that I really want to talk about. Zero Risk did their homework on this map. Well, maybe not enough because Sinister gets the opening pick there, but they're throwing nades through a drone hole that you normally don't really throw nades through. They understand that Valence wants to be on this side of the map underneath in that kitchen space, so they're trying to contest it in interesting and creative ways, and throwing nades through a drone hole is one way to do that. The initial clear now is still starting to take form as these players are entering through the solarium space, trying to just get their way up through office. This is a very, very standard clear, and it's really not something we've seen a whole lot this season, which is weird since it is the standard. But yeah, it's good to see teams kind of lean into what is the normal take on this map. You open up this wall, you throw the utility down towards the Wamai. Apparently now also you open up the floor and just shoot at the Oryx that's hiding underneath you as Mr. Alex player picks up that Oryx who is trying to rotate back to site. So Zero Risk really just ready for all of these rotations.
Yeah, and Zero Risk already have top control. They're going to be applying pressure to Psychics right here on Blue Stairs. They do have the util. They're going to get rid of that shield. However, Psychics is going to get the first pick onto that Ayana. Nurex is going to be downed. He's holding an aggressive angle here. He's going to back off. Now, we do have all three players here contesting Blue Stairs here. They're going to nade him once again. Bubs is going to push in. He's going to take out Sidekicks. That's another pick for Zero Risk. It is now a 3v3 situation.
Yeah,
Gonna drop off.
Zero Risk makes a little bit of a mistake there, letting the Aruni get out of that corner. Normally, it should be dead to rights there, but this is some good sledge verticality coming through, and they're in spots that you see teams often skip over. That vertical that he just opened, it sees all the way behind the bar, so really just clearing out the space. And with the amount of time that they still have left, they are going to be able to formulate whatever execute they want here. And it looks like they're setting up for a hatch-based execute, a pretty standard one for the type of take that they've gone for here. And they still have enough time to try and make this work. They just need to push this player out of stock, and then you can see them start going for this hatch drop and the play coming out soon. Just a little bit more posturing before the actual execute comes out. And I think it is worth noting as well that considering the guns left on the side of the attackers, unless it's Habana shooting in it, Smasher will die in a single bullet. So it's got a lot of pressure here on Lemon and Sinister to try and make it work for themselves here. Droning coming out from Zero Risk, 20 seconds left in the round. Not normally an advisable thing since, well, the clock is running against you here. 10 seconds left. The execute's going to have to come out soon. Mr. Alex Player can't keep looking down through the floorboard. They've dropped the hatch. They are planting default, and no one's able to get past these these attackers, excuse me, to really deny it until Smasher does just there. He grabs 2 for himself. I talked about how he's on 1 HP and still existing in that stock area. They never actually cleared him out, and he's able to win the round from stock.
And it exactly what you said. They failed to take out that Aruni from before, and that's really what cost them the round, especially because they were also holding cross angles. I don't know if you were watching when one of the players was in mud, and then Frost repositioned himself into bar. But new round can go anyway still. 1-0. Let's see what they can do for this round.
Yeah, it's still just a little weird to me. Zero Risk just threw 2 Habana pellets on Stockwall and said, and good enough. And then they just didn't, they assumed that there was no one there. It's a little bit of an oversight, but it is round 1, right? You're still getting yourself warmed up into the game. Little mistakes like that happen. It's more about what you do the next time you encounter a position to be in those mistakes. Valence moving over to their secondary site here. It's going to be Kitchen, a not popular site for ranked, a very popular site for comp. And I think a lot of that has to do with just how awkward this is of a site to attack. It was one of those sites that was really hard to defend too when it first came out, like when they first reworked this map, just because it doesn't logically make sense. It's just kind of awkwardly in between everything. It makes it very confusing into how to attack it, or excuse me, how to defend it, but that translates as well into how you attack it. It's very awkward to attack it because you feel like you need to fully take upstairs, like a full upstairs clear, except unlike when you're trying to plant half wall, you have to actually go into master and take it and then start working your way down the staircases to enter into the site. So there's really a lot of room here for Valence to get aggressive on these angles and deny time off the side of Zero Risk and let Echo win the round for them.
Yeah, and we're going to see Zero Risk already pushing into library, trying to get that top control that we were just talking about just moments before. Nurex is going to be pushing up to the double doors. Bubs is right behind them. They're clearing utility. They're going to get rid of 1 yokai drone. However, it seems like Valence isn't scared. They all have positionings. There's at least 3 people upstairs. They're going to try their best to hold those angles, hold those aggressive angles, and make sure that Zero Risk cannot push in upstairs, because if they get that top control, it might be as good as gone for Valence.
Yeah, the members of Zero Risk, they got up to this piano space relatively easily, and this is where like that paranoia starts coming in. There's a BP looking at them, and now you feel like people are just going to be swinging you from every direction. They do manage to take it out, but it cost them a good bit of utility, a couple of nades and a Gone 6 there, and there's 3 members of Valence still alive in this space, and they just spotted that shield as well within the walk-in closet. So they have a lot of utility that they need to clear out up here, and there's only a minute and a half left in the round. Normally that's plenty of time, but with a shield and 3 people, the pace is going to need to be picked up just a little bit more here by Zero Risk.
And they're going to back off a little bit. Valence playing for time here. They know that they're in a good spot to stop Zero Risk from pushing on or being aggressive. Zero Risk has to try to be more aggressive. They're going to drone in for util. They know that there's 2 people in master right now. Oh, he just barely misses that.
Yeah, these members from Zero Risk kind of pushing forward. Nirox gets caught off guard, though, by sidekicks as they've got under a minute left remaining. And Bubs, that player who got the opening pick for Zero Risk, is good for a second as he finds sidekick just trying to lurk his way back into that closet space. So upstairs control is finally established here for Zero Risk, but with barely any time left on the clock, they're going to have to be aggressive with their space control. These vertical plays is going to have to come out fast. They do have a buck and a sledge, so it is very doable for them that they can get this stuff open, but they've got to start swinging those sledgehammers as you see them doing right now. They really need to get the Pempo up to pace here, especially since Alzamo doesn't even have the default site wall open yet, so he's not going to be able to attempt to plant just yet. Oh, he does open that, excuse me, as I say, and he backs himself in, gets himself in behind the bomb chassis. The Finka swings in as well. Bubs grabbed 1 before he's traded out by Unstoppable. Unstoppable grabs 2.
Oh my
Position in West Main. The hatch drop isn't good. Smasher grabs another, and now it's just Monster left upstairs with 4 seconds left, and 2 players on very long angles to find. He's not going to be able to do it. Valence find 2. Zero Risk just too slow.
Zero just wasting too much time upstairs trying to clear out the Valence players that were holding the top hold. Now, right now we're seeing Valence. They're sitting in a good spot. They're 2-0 right now. It can still be anybody's game, but we all know how momentum goes in this game. Valence is looking pretty good. They're going to be trying to hold upstairs again. We saw that they always roam with at least 3 people holding upstairs. So let's see how they do it on this round as well.
Yeah, they have one of the most unique basement holds here. Unstoppable is going to go place his shield here by this fridge and just kind of exist in this weird pocket area between Big Garage and the actual wine side of sight. It's really weird and awkward, and no other team really does it. So this is going to have to see where we get to see how much homework Zero Risk has put into this, because it's incredibly easy to clear the shield. It's just a single sledgehammer swing from upstairs, but it's not something you do by default. And if Zero Risk comes into this and they immediately place that breach there, then they will prove to me that Zero Risk has actually spent the time and respected their opponents enough to make decisions that you normally wouldn't make against any other team here. Valence, of course, has a great commanding lead out here so far, but a lot of it's just been due to mistakes from the side of Zero Risk. I don't want to take anything away from Valence as well. Their guns have been incredible today, and a lot of the decisions behind their movements are good. But like, Zero Risk had upstairs control with a full minute, and they opened maybe 3 holes with a buck and a sledge. Those are the kind of mistakes that you don't really expect from 2 teams that have guaranteed themselves into the playoffs. Maybe they just don't want to show anything more. And with this clear coming out from Zero Risk as well, it's a little bit concerning that they're not even considering that players from Valence could be upstairs.
Yeah, we're gonna see them try to go for a direct trophy, and Monster is going to be trying to clear out. It seems to be just looking at a drone right now. Um, they're going to try to get West Main controlled. All 3 players are in West Main. They are slowly pushing but surely. They see the Aruni gate.
Oh,
They're
they
gonna
do.
know that the shield is right there. So they droned out the person who is in Car Garage. He's gonna push off of that. He's going
Oh
to
my
get
god.
killed by Bubs.
What on earth was that from Unstoppable? He's getting shot at from above and he just vertically flicks them. Good work on Bubs there to be in a spot to trade that player out, but it's not a mistake you really can afford at this point. Unstoppable grabs one from a very dead end position there, so well played to that, man. These players to the side of Zero Risk they're once again stalling out. They haven't gotten the hatch open. They haven't even opened trench, that boiler space as well. And these players from Valence, you can see them reading into that incredibly well. Look at the positions they've taken up. They have so many players in this wine site ready to swing out on these Zero Risk attackers as they try to peek their way through here. Only the smoke really sticking back, and well, can you blame it? It's the smoke. He's holding that backside. He's keeping those smoke canisters in pocket for when the team actually needs it.
Now, they're still up top. They haven't really done any execution, whether with Trench or actually, I spoke too soon. There's somebody that is going to be approaching Trench slowly but surely. We also saw another playing from Car Garage. There are now 2 pushing off of that Trench. They're trying to push into sight slowly but surely. They have 50 seconds. They're going to be opening up the wall. They're holding aggressive angles here. As long as they can get someone to walk straight through that wall, they can start to plan off. However, Smasher is going to be taken out by that nade. Nurix with the kill. They're going to be watching this angle, getting the plant down. That's going to be a one. Actually, that's going to be. Oh, damn. I don't even know what's going on. So many kills just going off.
Yeah, the players from Zero Risk, they're just really abusing the angles that the side of Valence was playing there. The boiler setup was flipped the other way, so the player who was in blue couldn't actually stop that Thermite player from getting into the wall there because they didn't open the correct side of the wall. So a little bit of a mistake on that part to not be able to see the player running past, but a very clean execute there from Zero Risk, and they did do their homework. They opened that vertical on that shield that I was talking about, where if you're not ready for that, in the last time we saw Valence on this site, Unstoppable got 3 kills from behind that shield. And so being able to stop the Unstoppable was kind of the name of the game of that round. And it's good on Zero Risk to be able to do that. And now we get to see the adaptations that Zero Risk is able to make. They are allegedly more comfortable on the attack. This is the site that they are preferred to go to. They chose this for overtime. And so now they're going to need to make adaptations to what Valence is actually doing against them and not let those mistakes happen again. You can't have one of your players dying early to Sinister on that kitchen side. You know they're going to be playing playing on that kitchen site, it's about avoidance, flank management, and just utility management overall as well. Don't let sidekicks play on those blue stairs. Don't let Unstoppable and Sinister play in kitchen. And well, that's a very tall ask. There's 3 very powerful members of Valence that you really have to push around and bully to win this round.
Now they're going to have to try to get control of piano once again, like they did last time. However, this time they are going to have to make sure that they don't let Smasher get away like they did last time. Smasher was the key into winning that round for Valence when they went this same exact site. So as long as they can clear out Sidekicks and Smasher, they'll be sitting in a good position at the moment. Now we are going to see Alex pushing through basement.
It's
Now,
definitely
oh,
uh-oh.
and
Oh
we might
no.
be seeing a gunfight. We're gonna see a gunfight. Alex is
No.
gonna be taken out by Sinister.
Exact Not the exact same thing, but the same player gets a kill. He does get
Oh,
traded out there by Monster, so it's a good heads-up play to at least get 1 for 1, as these players are very aggressively taking the kitchen side of this map, and it costs them a minute. They get all the space and they get a 1 for 1 for it, but they still have yet to get it upstairs. The first person who's going to do that is Bubs, and all this kitchen clear was just to push a couple of roamers away from underneath you. They still have to open up the walls upstairs. They still have to do the normal utility burn on blue, unless they have something a little bit cheekier in mind. And with those Habana pellets, they might have something unique coming out of the bag here that's a little atypical of an attack and a supplement to the upstairs pressure.
yes. Now we are going to see that Zero Risk is a
Hello?
little bit spread out. Huh? What's going on?
We can't hear you.
Oh, um, is my mic
Okay,
working?
while we work on that, I guess I'm just
All
going
right.
to keep going. These players on Zero Risk just kind of staging up in that blue space. Unstoppable has snuck around back to behind the attack here, but it looks like Zero Risk has some form of information on is that a monster was in a position to try and deny it, using that Oryx ability, getting out of dodge. The nades coming through, breaking the shield, but not good enough to dislodge sidekicks. He once again gets a player from these blue stairs without a shield, and he's going to live for it this time too. Elzamo grabs Smasher, so that's at least the trade back, and it's that clutch prayer from the previous round that has been removed from play. Under a minute left remaining, and this vertical play is still not really present for the side of Zero Risk, as Buck is the player out here in short haul. So these players upstairs can't really open any new angles. They are given a little bit of fortune to the fact that Valence trapped 1 player inside a mudroom, so they should be able to lock him down in there. But Lemon is in that spot we saw Smasher go huge from previously, so they have to find a way to deal with this player out in stock. Plus the unstoppable man himself sitting on those main stairs towards the basement as well, mind you. So he's in a very unique spot as well. He's going to be able to wrap around any of these players as they start making the site execute happen. And Zero Risk is stalling out again. Nobody's in the site yet. There's 15 seconds left remaining. They're going to have to go, and they're going to have to go fast here. Utility being thrown out. That's the sound alarm of it starting. Lemon grabs 1 before he's traded out by his Alizalo. Unstoppable grabs 1, and Sidekick, the last man standing for Valence, is going to be able to clean up the round there. Valence once again win their primary site, and it was a little bit closer this time. So Zero Risk definitely improved on some things, but it still isn't a good look for them overall that they're dropping these rounds.
All right, and that was a pretty good round for Valence. Once again, Zero Risk just couldn't bring the win. They couldn't. They keep wasting so much time, and that's just unfortunate. Once they always have that top map control as well as kitchen control, they just can't push off of it. And we're just gonna have to hope that Zero Risk can somehow come up with a way to get another round like they did just rounds before. Now we are gonna see a different type of hold coming from Sinister as he is on the castle now. It's gonna be somewhat of the same hold. They're gonna be playing upstairs. However, all they really brought was a new castle to hold that better. I'm hoping that the mic is actually working now. I'm
Yeah,
not entirely sure. Okay.
it was on my end. Something came unplugged. That's my
Oh,
fault.
okay. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, we worked out those technical difficulties and we are able to hear each other. So that's good. All right. Now back to you. What do you think this round is going to look like? Do you think Valence is still going to end up with another round, or do you think Zero Risk can somehow get this map control and grab another round from Valence?
That's the hardest thing you could have asked for me to predict, man. I really feel like Zero Risk should be winning these rounds. They're just making one mistake that's so devastating. It's costing them these rounds. If you remember the last time we were up here, they just didn't open the vertical, despite having two soft breachers on their lineup and as much time as they really needed to get it going. And with how good Valence has been so far, I mean, look at that. Unstoppable just wide swings past Neurox and grabs the opening kill for himself before getting trade out. Like, they're feeling themselves today, man. So you gotta feel like
Oh,
Valence is just gonna continue their pain train going forward.
now we always have been seeing for these past couple of rounds, Zero Risk is not afraid to take those gunfights. They're not afraid to be aggressive. Their only problem is that time management. They're wasting too much time trying to get control of these top controls. However, Sinister is gonna take Nurex out of the game. That's gonna be gone. It's going to be a 4v3. Alex is going to be opening up that wall in offices. Monster has intel. He knows that somebody is in master bedroom at the moment. Gonna be pushing in. However, that BP is still an enemy.
And a lot of that explosive utility is gone already too. Bubs and Nurox the first two kills, so they have no Gone 6s to really deal with this from range. Zero Risk very fortunate that Valence is willing to give them most of this, just playing all the way back at Solar. But when Psykix is playing like that, Solar is all you really need. They don't need this shield. They just need a single reinforcement and a guy with a Jaeger gun behind it, and they're good to go. These players on Zero Risk, battered and torn, but they're not out of the round just yet. Mr. Alex player trying to sneak up here through the closet. He does have the intel. Should Psykix decide to swing, he misses the shot. The opportunity gone now, and his position given away as the Thermite is just nowhere near him right now, trying to go somewhere else, trying to make something else work because this upstairs, well, it's not working out quite so well for them. Psykix and the Mr. Alex player about to take the duel. Mr. Alex player does win it and gets one back for the side of Zero Risk. There's only a one-man advantage now, but there's under a minute remaining as Alzamo has gotten the main wall open here. He's playing out through the main lobby, but with such little time, this sledge is going to have to go huge, especially considering that there is an Echo on the round, and I believe that's the player from Valence that we saw run into the basement as well, so they're not going to be able to kill him realistically. So it's just a matter of time now. A beautiful frag grenade, not cooked quite enough, and Smasher, actually the player that pick up Alzamo, so it's now just all on the back and shoulders of Mr. Alex player. He's got 20 seconds left, 3 players to find, and none of them are really exposing themselves here. They really could with how they've been playing so far. Just lights out in all of their gun skins. He's going to go for a drop on the hatch. He's going to pick up one on the lemon. He's got to make these other kills work in 6 seconds, and the other players are just, well, they're running away. They're all the way in the basement, so he's not going to be able to make it happen. The Echo drone should secure the round here in just a moment. 3, 2, 1, and there it goes. The Echo wins the round. Team Valence goes up 4-1.
And so unfortunate for Zero Risk. Once again, they're sitting at 4-1. It's not looking good for Zero Risk at the moment. Valence is playing off of that momentum, and they're just not letting go. They just want this more at the moment. It doesn't seem like Zero Risk is trying to change anything at the moment. They're pretty much doing the same thing, doing the same executes. I'm really it's really starting to look like Valence might unfortunately make this a 7-1. I really hope that isn't the case though.
If that is the case, I want to see Zero Risk at least put up like a little bit more of a fight. This is the site, like, oh, never mind. This is not the site that they won because Valence is able to play all 4 sites on the map. That's kind of cool. It's not something you get to see every day, but I feel like a lot of this is just Zero Risk has to get themselves into the building confidently. We've seen them time and time again struggle on these entries. I've got the stats here as well. Valence has won 4 out of 5 opening picks, and the one that they lost wasn't even on the round they lost. So Valence has just been lights out on all of their gunplay and their aggressiveness, and a lot of that's due to the man on your screen right now. Unstoppable has just really been living up to his namesake. Maybe not in the in the death department. He has been shut down a couple of times, but it's just the amount of pressure that he's exuding onto the side of Zero Risk before he falls. He's been very in their face. He's often taking these opening contacts. He's getting traded out for it, sure, but there's just this ever-looming threat that he could be behind any corner that's not round.
And so we're going to once again be seeing a library push for Zero Risk. Bubs is going to be clearing util. He's going to be pushing into library. They're going to be pushing off of that intel right there. 2 players pushing from library now. They're going to try to get that top. All right. They're slowly but surely pushing. So they're going to be droning in. Now we do have Lemon playing off of that piano. He knows that they're going to be approaching. Not
It's a
sure what's
very
going on at the moment.
It's a very interesting move there from Lemon to kind of give up that shield to open the holes onto Canine Door, but he is able to play off of this half wall. Another very powerful position that it just kind of makes the site awkward to attack here. That reinforcement, of course, being where it is, means that the piano player can't deny plant from piano. They're going to have to get a little bit more aggressive than that, but these players downstairs, one of them does have the Nitro. That's Sinister, who's got himself that tucked away in kitchen. So these players on Zero Risk are going to have to address those players downstairs in a couple of different ways. They've just got to make their decision and actually commit to it, because the longer they stick around up here not really accomplishing much of anything, the more value that Bandit's going to get downstairs.
Now we still see Zero Risk struggling to get through. However, they're going to open up that wall. That's going to be half wall free to walk in, hopefully. But actually, we still have Valence members watching from Master side. They do have those angles. Are they going to be able to get that? Are they going to be able to get that control to half wall to get that plan off? If they can somehow get that plan off, that'll be in their favor. All they have to do is hold those aggressive angles. However, Lemon is still on this piano hold. There's not much pressure going on. Not much is going on at the moment. Zero Risk
Yeah.
is at a standstill at the moment.
Oh, Unstoppable got past that drone. No one was watching the flank. It looks like they might have a hunch about it, but they're not going to know enough to really commit to watching the flank here. And especially now as these players start gearing up to go into the site, Unstoppable's in the perfect position to shut this round down before it really gets going. He grabs two! What a nice flick from Unstoppable, really opening this round up big for Valence. And with only 30 seconds left, the members of Zero Risk can't even try to hunt him down. They've got to just push their way forward into piano, just dry peeking every angle in the bulletproof cam, calling it out. Lemon's tucked in the corner. He grabs one, tags onto the Maestro, not even good enough. Lemon grabs a second for himself. These players on Valence are just winning out of every position, and Valence shut it down for a 5-1 half on defense.
And how unfortunate for Zero Risk. They weren't applying pressure at all that round. There was nothing really going on. They had no one on cams to be aware of Unstoppable on the flank. He grabs two picks. They have to struggle to push in through piano and get some control, but in the end they couldn't. There's just nothing they could have done in that situation.
Yeah, Zero Risk is really going to have to lean into this mental reset here, right? When you switch sides, you kind of get that mental refresher. The pace of the game has changed, and you're the team that's now dictating what the setups look like, and you've really got to kind of take that to heart, because you don't want to burn your timeout before you really have to. Zero Risk also going for not the best bomb site here. Going to the basement is the only site that Valence actually lost, and it's one of the weaker sites just in general from an overall win rate, unless you believe like the one European game where it won like 5 times. But yeah, it's a very interesting site to go to, and with a team like Valence, with how confident they've been this game, you taking them to a very frag-heavy site almost seems like a bit of an oversight, but maybe Zero Risk has something in mind with how they want to dynamically play it, and I think a lot of that could come down to what we see Mr. Alex player. That is the Azami, one of the newest operators to the game, and came into the competitive scene with Sens this season, so not really seeing a lot of use before this, because she, well, just simply wasn't allowed, but now she is, and we get to see this reconstruction ideology come out from Zero Risk, and Azami's on the wrong side of the map to make it work right now.
And it seems like they're going to be going for this main wall. They're trying to do a straight
What
push
is
right
this?
here. I don't know what is going on. Everybody in Valence is here. We have a glass, a thermite,
A
and
Sens,
a
too!
sense. I'm not, and we have Unstoppable pushing from Fireplace. There's absolutely nobody to contest him. He's going to be walking down those stairs. He's most likely going to get a pick. Cosmo does know that he is there. Unstoppable is going to be taken out by Alex.
Yeah, it was definitely an idea to go for there. And now these Valence members are really going to have to make the Glaz work for them. They're just kind of running around, triggering off all of these thorn gadgets to burn as much utility as you can. And you've got to remember that Glaz can also see through Sens's smoke. And this player from Zero Risk, this Jaeger, is really going to be responsible for keeping that smoke alive. Mr. Alex player not rotating back to site yet either.
Oh,
Nurbox going for the floor. The default plant, but Smasher's in a position to actually cut him off. Monster grabs the planter though, so the plant has been denied for now. The Glaz Overwatch just not good enough, and with over half the round remaining still, we've seen so much action. They really just are continuing to try and hammer the plot home here. What a nice shot through 2 smokes onto a guy who can see through smokes. Why even have that advantage if you're going to lose the gunfight? The Osa shield does get placed down within the confines of the site, so they finally have, I guess, some form of place they can call their own here.
Now it seems like Zero Risk is looking pretty good on this defense. Maybe defense is exactly what they needed to turn all of this around. Valence looking in a sticky situation. They have so many people watching from different angles. Can they pull out this win? It's going to be very hard. It's a 2v4 at the moment, and I'm not entirely sure where Smasher is at the moment. We are going to see Sinister is still on that Osa shield. Smasher is going to go for somewhat of a different push here. They're going to be pushing through Fireplace. However, as we saw before, there were two on those main stairs.
Yeah, with the time ticking down, the players from Zero Risk has rightfully gotten themselves back into sight, but the shotgun at the bottom of the staircase could spell doom for Smasher, and that it does. It's now all on to Sinister, one of their newer pickups, a sub for them being brought in. He's got to make it work. What?
Huh? Whoa, whoa, huh?
That's a little weird, but he's got 15 seconds to find 4 people, and even if he's trying to spray them down through a brick wall or not, he's probably not going to summon the amount of magic he needs to make this round happen. Zero Risk should be getting their second round on the board. What a nice shot from Alex Player there to close out the round as well. Just a very interesting, I think, concept overall from Valence. I don't want to say it was bad. I don't think we got to see its full potential there, but it was definitely a cool, unique concept, and I'll give them that.
I think Valence they were at a point where they thought, is this actually a league game or are we playing ranked? And they wanted to go for a ranked style play, and it just did not work. They didn't realize that Zero Risk is still in this to win it, and they still want this just as much as Valence does. So hopefully we can see more of that as well in this next defensive round for Zero Risk. It is now round 8. It is a 5-2 at the moment. Let's see what Zero Risk can pull off here.
Yeah, we're going to Bar, and it's a little bit of a different lineup too. I haven't seen many teams work Azami into their Bar setup just yet. I think a lot of that's just due to how much utility playing this site requires. If you think like shield count, they've obviously got 2 shields still, in this case coming out from the Alibi and the Smoke, and they're giving up just the Wamai, and I think that's a very crucial operator to be opting out of to bring Azami here. All of those frag grenades, all of that utility that would normally go into a shield plus the Wamai disc is now just going into the Azami directly. But there is some benefits to it as well. You see those windows being blocked off, and they're not really in meleeable distance either. So the side of Valence has a little bit of extra stuff to burn at the cost, of no Wamai discs to actually have to catch them.
All right, and we are going to see Valence try to go for this master push. There's not really anybody here to contest them. Oh, however, there is somebody pushing up of Solarium stairs. We're gonna see Psychics go from below, try to contest that West main player at the moment. He's gonna nade him. I don't think he's aware of this. Oh, he walks into it. Bubs is still gonna be alive though. He can still play his life right there. He's gonna be very low at the moment, but as long as he can waste time here for his team, they'll be sitting in a good position.
Yeah, he's also burnt a surprising amount of utility. 2 frag grenades down and not thrown at either of those positions towards Mezzi and blue stairs that you'd expect them to be thrown out. So he traded about 75% of his health there for a lot of utility from the side of Valence, and especially since they only have 2 frag grenade operators, that's a good trade, and he still manages to live another day as well. So as you mentioned, he's going to be just kind of existing in that underneath space, lurking in the darkness, existing in the shadows until his time to strike comes, or in this case, until the IGL says, no, just come back to site. You're too low to actually make this work here. And this is where we get to see the lack of Omai really come into play. As these flashbangs come out, there's not really anything to catch them. There's, I believe, 1 ADS, and there it goes, and it's already popped. So this nade will be able to break the shield here, coming out shortly from the hut window. And there it goes in a minute.
And it's gonna miss the shield.
Oh no. Oh, it bounced off the stomach barricade.
And they have no util to clear that unless Abana can somehow take that shield out, but there's no more util for that shield.
No, they haven't got 6, but it gets ADS.
And Monster is gonna still play on the shield. They have no way to get the shield off of blue stairs.
Look at
So
the silhouettes from Valence. They're bailing. They know that they can't get in on this side of the map. They're just trying to make something else work. I think they're going to try and wrap around through the kitchen hall here. But you see those pings coming out from Zero Risk. They understand that how desperate Valence is going to get here. And they've got guns trained on this area before they even committed to this side of the map. So very good heads up play there from Zero Risk. And a little bit depressing to see Valence miss all of that utility there. And the Unstoppable, what the heck? He's just walking directly into sight. Alex player grabs 2. One of those might have been an accident behind the initial kill. Sidekicks comes vaulting over, grabs 1 after Bubs grabs another one of his teammates. And with Bubs being down because he was on such low HP earlier, it is effectively a 2v3. Somehow the smoke's in between 2 players, and he gets it down anyway. Wait,
and there's gonna be a team kill.
I thought the attackers won the round for a moment there. Okay, no, Zero Risk did win. Okay.
Okay.
What?
All right.
What's going on, man?
We're gonna see Zero Risk take another round, and it's looking like this is going to be in Zero Risk's favor at the moment. They still can bring this back. They've shown us that they can bring this back. It is 5-3 still. Valence, not sure what they're doing at the moment.
I mean, if Valence is gonna misthrow like 8 pieces of utility into a shield with no OMI discs, then yeah, I guess Zero Risk really do have a chance of bringing this back. Sorry, this is ridiculous. We're heading over to the tertiary site now. We're going kitchen. It's a good site. And we're seeing a zombie on kitchen. This is a site I actually really like her on. There's a lot of cool things you can do because there's a lot of props that you can really extend those off, even upstairs as well. So a zombie's definitely going to have some value here. And if you look over at the side of Valence, they're not making the same mistake twice. They have extra explosives this time just to make sure that they can actually throw them without running out of that critical piece of utility before they really need it to break this setup here. So I like the adjustment coming out from Valence.
Yes, and we are going to see Valence try to go for a library push once again. Hopefully they can get some control here, make sure that they get all the utility off that they need to, and make sure that they don't miss like they did the last round.
Ooh, this is interesting. That the player of Zero Risk, Bubs, is all the way out here on Mezzi, and he's got another player to support him here, and they almost kill.
Almost dead. I don't even know what's going on. Alex was contesting him on the window. He is gonna get blocked by his own zombie.
But yeah, I mean, they're contesting the entirety of the upstairs. They're still peeking it. Bubs is still willing to take these gunfights and then fall back. And these players from Valence have really been slowed down. There's a minute gone on the round, and they're just now getting into library. So a really good tempo.
Oh my god!
What on earth?
And Monster almost getting taken off.
A really good tempo, though, being brought by Zero Risk on the defensive side, really slowing Valence down and trying to make them take these more desperate gunfights.
Now, oh my god! And Bubs is gonna take Unstoppable off. They're not aware that he's still around that area. They have no drones, no intel. They have nothing to work with at the moment. We have players all around the map, spread out. They are gonna try to go for half wall. They're gonna get the wall open, try to make a play. They have 1:25 left on the clock. However, the site is downstairs. It's not upstairs. So let's see what they can make with this. They are aware that that Unstoppable. I said Unstoppable. I don't even know what's going on at the moment. I'm losing track. That Bubs is still on that roam. That's the player I was trying to think of. All right.
Yeah, I mean, Valence is really just going to have to try and cheat this upstairs clear, which is what they're setting up for now. It's a good read, I believe, on the side of Valence. It's depressing, I think, if you're a Valence fan, to have to see them commit to this, because normally you do want to clear all of these upstairs players and leverage vertical pressure into the site, but that's just not an option here given the time. So they're just kind of bailing on that idea, and they're going for more of this long extended hold, just keeping the defenders away from being able to deny plant from above and just trust your players on the first floor to make the play work without that vertical presence clearing people out. And with 30 seconds left and dwindling, this player on Bubs does get pinged out, but he gets shot in the back. Neurox from a very long angle. Bubs does get taken out, though, so that information not going to waste, but Neurox grabs a second for himself on a crazy long angle all the way back in trophy. This player sneaking up West Main doesn't quite see the head of Neurox, and he gets tagged as he's going towards solar, but he grabs another 2 for himself out of this angle, just swinging back and forth. He can't stop killing people.
And Neurox has been playing outstanding. Timeout has been requested by Valence, so we are going to go to a timeout. they're gonna have to talk about what's going on. It is a 5-4 at the moment. Zero Risk is coming back. They need to desperately figure out what is going on. What can they do to change their approaches?
Yeah, I don't really know. It's just like a complete shift of form here from Zero Risk. They went from being caught off guard with how aggressive Valence was being to being the aggressors. I've never seen a team really commit that hard to Mezzi top blue on a kitchen defense, and both players live to tell the tale. Normally expect at least one of them to be traded out there, but that just didn't happen. The coordination from Valence isn't quite there, and I kind of think that's why they ended up calling the timeout, because they do want to stay at the top of the leaderboard to get themselves as big of an advantage as they can going into playoffs. And when you're making droning mistakes, when you're making coordination mistakes, it's very easy for Zero Risk to punish those mistakes and get back into play, into the game. Obviously, there's not a lot you can do when someone like Neurox is just, well, sitting in trophy and swinging 4 people at crazy distances and killing all of them. But you can clean up the entry. You can give yourself enough time to actually commit to the take you want to do. I don't know if I like the Osa coming out, but at least there's no Glaz to follow it up. It was very clowny. It didn't work the first time, so hopefully we don't see Valence go for
And
it again.
hopefully, thankfully, we're not seeing that since played either. So we are gonna see more of a basic approach
Uh,
when it comes to operators picks. I feel like that Osa can somehow help them. Now, I feel like if they take that control of Trench and Car Garage, they can work something out. As long as they can get that wall on Trench open, they're sitting in a nice and good spot to be able to get that diffuser planted and be able to catch this dub. So
yeah,
let's see what they can do this round.
I think you brought up a great point there. They've got to get the trench wall open. Don't go for the snowmobile garage. Everyone's played against that a million times. Zero Risk is comfortable defending into that. If you play the site, you've seen that attack at least 8
And,
times.
and Bubs,
Go for the other side of the map. Yeah, sure, they've probably seen it as many times as well, but it's just easier to execute. The burden of execution is not on your shoulders. You think Snowmo, you've got to clear upstairs, you've got to get down main stairs, you got to throw your utility perfectly and hope that the defenders don't just kill you with their utility. Whereas with Trophy, or excuse me, this wine side attack, you can actually push the defenders around. You can build space and go for a very safe plant that utility cannot clear. And so with this early droning coming out from Lemon, I think they kind of agree with me on this one. They're going to try and take this other side of sight. So now we get to see these roamers really have an early duels with the side of Valence.
all right, they have somewhat of an idea where the Zero Risk players are at. They know that somebody was playing in that West Main area. Psychics is going to be pushing off of this intel, going to slowly be pushing up on Trophy. We do have Finka already on those Solarium stairs. He's going to be pushing down those stairs. They're going to be still trying to drone out where the Zero Risk player has gone. They know that he is in dining at the moment. However, he's going to be taken out by Alex, which is going to be a extreme wall bank. That was very impressive right there.
Yeah,
He's
they
going to
didn't
drop
shoot the
off.
West main cam. You gotta shoot your default cams, man. Mr. Alex Slayer gets a single ping and tears off Unstoppable's head through the wall. Just well played to him there to make that happen. He is going to surrender his position, so these members of Valence can pretty easily now get their way up in through wine. And with the Osa shield being planted down here as well, you see them kind of shaping up for that attack that we really said we wanted to see out of them.
Exactly. And they're going to be using that OSA to the max. However, they do also have their second OSA shield over here by the main wall. So if they get rid of that OSA shield by Trench, they're going to have nothing else to be able to contest if they have to hold those long angles. Just going to have to go with it. However, there is a Zero Risk player coming down those west main stairs. He's gonna toss a nade. There actually is going to be two. There's three players actually upstairs at the moment. They do have control. Can
Yeah,
I'm not even sure what's going on. Sinister is going to take another kill off a monster. They're going to have side control at the moment. I don't know what Zero Risk is doing. Nobody is in sight.
yeah, Zero Risk playing to deny the wine take, but Lemon just sprinted past all of it, and he's now planting a snowmobile up on the reinforced wall. And with Sinister grabbing that pick onto the zombie, the plant's going to be confirmed. And because they opened that snowmobile wall earlier on, they actually have a pretty solid post plant here as well. So a lot of improvements coming out from Valence this time around. A very clowny defense, I think, from Zero Risk as well. to send everyone upstairs as Psykrix grabs the penultimate kill for his team. Hopefully, they're going to be able to shut this out soon. Neurox, though, is trying to look for... What
Oh
on
my
earth was
God.
that? He's trying to make it doable, but they're playing their own shields against them, and it doesn't look like it's going to end too well for his Psychics, just running away, wasting more time. Neurox is against the clock. He does get the kill, gifted to him, but there's an Osa shield outside. The diffuser's about to be undefusable. And there it is. So Valence have officially won this round. Just a gunfight going the way of Lemon. An interesting round overall. I don't know why they sent 3 people upstairs, but 2 of them was reasonable, right? You get that hatch control, you can test the staircase, and you just really get behind the push.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what Zero Risk was thinking with that play of having 3 people
Me
roam
neither.
upstairs. Zero Risk is going to take that timeout probably because of that mistake they made
They
with
called
sending
it
those
at the
3.
start of the round. This timeout has been in place since the prep phase.
Has it really?
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, either way, that's gonna be good. They're gonna be able to think of what went wrong. I'm pretty sure we both know what went wrong there. With having those 3 players upstairs.
You're not wrong.
So hopefully Zero Risk can think of what to do on this next round and take that round back because that was just so unfortunate. That really should have been a Zero Risk win right there, in my opinion. Again,
Yeah. No,
so
sorry. I actually agree with you. It really looked like one of those moments where IGL's like, oh, can we get someone in the flank? And 3 people just say, ooh, me. And then they just all run upstairs. But yeah, Zero Risk was in a perfect position to win that round just on the time, on the picks too. Alex Player being able to grab that incredible pick on Unstoppable and then live as well. Just some insane work coming out from the boys on Zero Risk to get the advantages in that round, and then to throw it away like that is a little bit heartbreaking. They are going over to a different site here as well. I kind of like that it didn't go your way. Sure, it was a little interesting how you lost it, but still, a change of scenery is always good.
now let's recall it's 6-4. We did say that this might end in a 7-4. Now is it Zero Risk? At the
No.
moment, no, it is not. But
uh,
they are going to go bar once again. It seems like it's going to be a somewhat basic hold. Not anything is nothing's looking pretty much too different. They are going to have those head holes onto kitchen. I'm not sure where exactly they're going to be holding, but hopefully they're going to be able to hold this better than they did the previous round. They know what they did wrong and they're going to try to change it. They're going to have those 2 players playing off of library. They do have the Azami. Now I want to say something about Alex and that Azami place. The Azami for this map has been pretty outstanding so far. A lot of people so far using that Azami to make more control, make makeshift shields and angles. So that Azami has been used pretty well for maps like Chalet. I'm not
mhm.
sure how you feel about that Azami, but so far, in my opinion, I feel like it's actually being used pretty well.
Yeah, Mr. Alex Player has definitely done a great job on this map, just using the zombie to play in positions that you normally can't play in very safely, which is one of their strongest points. So yeah, I definitely think Alex Player's been putting on a little bit of a clinic, especially with his gunplay around it as well. He's very comfortable with what duels he can take off of those angles, and you really see it kind of blooming in his scoreboard here. Just the fact that he's been able to get so many kills off of the back of a combination of good team communication, intel, plus the Azami barricades is something incredible to see. We are about a minute into this round, and while Valence is not making the same mistakes as last night, if you check their pockets right now, they actually still have utility for the shield. Of course, one piece already gone now to that ADS as Unstoppable rotates out towards these library windows, but they definitely have more utility to work with here, so it's already an improvement from the side of Valence.
All right, and we're gonna probably see Sinister try to take out those ADSs with those flashbangs so that they can actually get rid of that shield this time. Hopefully they can do it. We are gonna be seeing Unstoppable try to go for a library push. However, once again, Alex is there. Can Alex stop him from getting control of library? Most likely he will. There's gonna be a nade going out. Is he gonna get this kill? No, that's gonna get Unstoppable hurt with that damage. That Azami play was so good. That Kiba barrier just denied that nade, and that perfectly timed Kiba was just outstanding. However, we're gonna see Alex be playing this window from below. I'm not sure if Unstoppable is aware of this.
Yeah, whether he's aware of it or not will come to pass here soon, but it's just the fact that these players are still contesting upstairs. You see that silhouette on blue stairs. Sure, he's not all the way up. They have been pushed out at least somewhat, but they're still in a position where they can strike. The first blood finally coming out with 40 seconds left in the round as Valence is able to pick up Nurox, who's been such a pivotal and providing player for the side of Zero Risk, and having him gone and out early is not the look that you want here. The smoke canisters being deployed just to try and slow the push down and really move those players of Valence around into the take that they want them to go for. Wow, that's very far away. You see the silhouette of Zero. He's on the other side of the map right now, just still watching flanks. They're very paranoid that Zero Risk is going to try to go for something here. With 15 seconds left, it's actually on Valence to go for something. And Psychix does manage to win out that fight on Monster. It's a very interesting fight around the beams there as Mr. Alex Player continues his reign of terror. Players now dropping through the hatch, getting tagged down by Alex Player. He's just tucked in this corner. And the planter gets dropped as well from Bubs. Alex Player finally going down by Psychix, but Alzomo picks up the final kill, and Zero Risk stays alive and gives themselves another chance at life here going into the final round of regulation.
Now that was actually looking like Valence was actually gonna get that dub for a second. That was pretty nerve-wracking. We did have that Zero all the way in the back of the map. I'm not entirely sure why he was still in the back of the map. We did see him droning. However, I feel like it would have been better if he was a little bit more closer to the rest of his team. Not sure if that might have been one of the reasons that got them killed, because there was no time left on the board. It was only like 50 seconds left, and they were still not in sight.
Yeah, we are coming back to basement as well. We've seen this site played a lot this game. This is its fourth appearance. It is 1 win to 2 losses right now, so not the greatest site to come back to, especially with how well Kitchen went the last time Zero Risk defended it, but they're confident in this setup, and well, I can't really blame them here. They really should have won it. Their second defense here too. They just sent a small handful of people upstairs and really kind of threw the round from that point. So if they could fix that one mistake of, well, just leaving the site, then they should be good here to try and give themselves a better chance at redemption here and get an overtime appearance. And I think it is important to note, Zero Risk is starting on attack in overtime, which is their choice. They chose to start attack in overtime, and having seen how this game's gone, that's might end up being a little bit of a mistake and hurt them in the long run.
Yeah, we have seen that none of their attack rounds went to their favor. I believe they only won. I think it was one round, was
Just
it?
one, yeah, just
It
one.
was just one round that they won on attack. So hopefully they can make it work. However, it's not looking like that'll be the case. But before they could even do that and even go to OT, they've got to win this round against Valence, which it is a 6-5 at the moment. Unstoppable is going to be pushing from trench once again. They're going to try to take that trench control. Hopefully Zero Risk does not make that same mistake that they did last round, or the round previous to that one. Now we are going to see them be pushing into sight slowly. They can take that wall. There is nothing to contest that wall. There's nothing to get rid of the thermite from getting that wall.
Yeah, these players on Valence, though, they didn't really clear these upstairs players. It's a great reverse vertical angle there from Psychix to drop Bubs onto the floor. He's
Oh my
going to
God.
get picked up here, though. The Psychix can't quite get the angle to close and kill him outright. So the player is alive, and the players on Valence, you see them just frantically running up the stairs now. They've recognized how many people Zero Risk is willing to throw up here, and they've got to contest them. Lemon grabs one all the way through sight. That was actually the anchor player, I believe, who was behind the shield before Monster is able to rotate in. Now we get to see that power of a zombie as well, just denying the ability for some of these walls to be wall banged through. And well, there's a minute left on the clock here, and Mr. Alex Player is garnering a lot of attention for himself with not a lot of utility to his name. He's just chucking those Azama barricades that he just passively generates in his pocket. Is going to take in a duel with Unstoppable and win that out, and he's going to duck away through short haul and is going to make it out alive. That's incredibly important considering how little time is left, and they've also adapted for how Valence likes to play this site as well. Azamo, you see him covering that main snowmobile wall walkthrough. They don't want to let him just step through sight like he did in the previous round. And Valence as well, they've cleaned things up. They've got a player on that hatch for when this wall gets open so that the player on pillar can't really run around as freely as he wants. Monster steps back into the nade, so Psychix grabs that one for himself, and now it's just on the hands of Mr. Alex Player on this side of the site, as Alzamo, who is still holding that man outside of Snowmobile, is unable to cross until he goes upstairs just then, but Lemon is putting the plant on the ground. Alex Player's got to get a move on if he wants to stop the plant from happening, and there it is. It's on the ground, and Valence now 40 seconds counting towards their victory, and Alzamo's on the hatch. He is going to grab the planter. That's Lemon now down and dusted for the round. But these players still tucked in every niche left around the site. They have one tucked boiler, one still, I believe, outside the snowmobile as well. So these players just everywhere right now. One in connector too. They've got so much work to find, so much space to cover, and so little time to do it. Initial tags coming out onto Alzamo as the ace has moved in, and with sidekicks grabbing that pick, it's all on Mr. Alex Player. He's been so good, but he's not good enough. Zero risk fail to get us in overtime. Valence wins 7-5 in regulation.
And what an interesting game that was. Valence in the end grabbing that 7-5, proving us wrong, proving that Zero Risk just didn't want it as much as Valence did.
Yeah.
Now, I gotta say, it was an interesting game. There were a lot of plays that were questionable in my opinion. A few highlighted plays were I thought just didn't really make sense in my opinion, but some outstanding players that game were unstoppable in my opinion, and Alex, although they weren't able to bring it up.
Yeah, definitely. Valence had a lot to. Neither team had a lot on riding on this, right? They both qualified for playoffs. It's just a seeding match more than anything else. And I believe with that, Valence have secured top spot in their group. I might be wrong. They have +7 round differential on the people on the Leviathans below them. So if Leviathans go 7-0 against their opponent, which I don't know quite who they play, but yeah, if Leviathans 7-0, then there's a chance that they don't end first. But that's a very tall ask on a team like Leviathans. They've been great so far, but you can't always predict things like that to happen.
Right. So yeah, that was. I don't know. I was really hoping Zero Risk would take it out in the end. Obviously, that's not what went down. There were a lot of times where they just wasted too much time on those attack rounds, and I think that's really what killed them in the end. Really, what diminished their playing style. As if they could just work on that time management and being able to play more aggressively when pushing that site, I really think that they could have done way better in this game.
Yeah, almost every round it felt like they were one step removed from a victory. So it's a very heartbreaking defeat, especially how close the final scoreboard ended up being. But still, though, Valence played very well, and you've got to give them credit where credit is due. So congratulations to them. We're going to head over to a break
Congratulations.
pretty soon here. So don't go too far. We do have another game coming up later today. So you're not going to want to miss that one. So stick around, and we'll see you then.
I'm spinning tracks, catch me, I'm spinning gold on my records, no you can't compare.
Let's go, send all of your friends to the restroom and let's go. Hey, nah, don't touch on my bottles if you ain't coming home. I seen you put the lipstick in the Prada, you moving on the floor. Nice, young, and the vibe is electric, the bank roll at my door. I feel my senses overload, wildin' cause I broke the mold. Really in this business of investing, but I win the most. Cruising when it's 2 a.m., bodies hanging at the banks. Drive me to the nearest liquor store to celebrate again. Oh, it's on my mind, it's good, it's fine. It's on my mind, yeah, good time.
Hold up, wait a minute, stop. I don't even need you anymore, I'm on the top. I've been on a roll, you've been on a drop. I can't give you lessons and this shit is hard rock. This ain't new to me, she just sent 140 notes to me. Dripping YSL, these bitches using me. I can't give a damn cause I've been through the rain.
I seen you put the lipstick in the Prada, you moving on the floor. Nice, young, and the vibe is electric, the bank roll at my door.
I feel my senses overload, wildin' cause I broke the mold. Really in this business of investing, but I win the most. Cruising when it's 2 a.m. Parties hanging at the bangs. Drive me to the nearest liquor store to celebrate again. Oh, it's so.
So now you're here again, knocking at my door. A little too late for, I'm sorry for. The lights went out cause you kept cutting the cord. And I started to fade into your gray. See, I finally opened up my eyes, and I saw me coming back to life. Bet I'd be better without you inside. It's time to be someone I wanna recognize. The future starts right now. I made a reservation, but you never came, so I'm checking out. The fire you stole away, I know one day we'll come back around. The future is now. The future is now. The future is now. I waited for you in the passenger seat. There's only so far I can ride in your dreams. While you were chasing everything else but me, I'm starting to break out from your gray. See, I finally opened up my eyes, and I saw me coming back to life. That I'd be better without you inside. It's time to be someone I wanna recognize. The future starts right now. I made a reservation, but you never came, so I'm checking out. The fire you stole away, I know one day we'll come back around. The future is now. The future is now. I'm not backing down, cause the future is now. Not backing down, cause the future is now. The future starts right now. I made a reservation, but you never came, so I'm checking out. The fire you stole away, I know one day we'll come back around. The future is now. The
All right, all right. So we are here with our boy Unstoppable. How you doing,
Hello.
Unstoppable?
I'm doing good.
So tell us, Unstoppable, how did you feel about that match?
Well, going into it, I was a little worried since we have 2 subs with us, but at the end of the day, we balled out and we showed up.
Now, exactly what round specifically spoke to you where you guys felt like you were really in it to win it at that point? Like, was there a specific round, a specific play you guys made where you were like, oh, yeah, I know for a fact we're winning this round?
So for me, it was one of the rounds where they were downstairs and Sinister on the ace basically just walked through the main breach and fried both kids on site. And then after that, we had a lemon run across and just go for that plant. And as soon as we got that plant down and we were all posted up, just knew we had it.
Yeah, you guys were looking at a great positioning right there. Um, Another thing, we saw you on that little flank there. You were contesting that for a good while. We saw that flank coming from, I believe, was it basement or something? I forgot what it
Yeah.
was. Where you got 2 picks.
Yep.
That was a really great play.
Yeah, so that one I basically was like, "Okay, I'm gonna pressure the flank, get them to turn around a little bit, see if the people on site could get a pick or just slow their execute down." And as I was on the flank, I saw 2 cams and nobody was on the cams, so I took advantage of it and I sat there for a while and just waited.
Yeah, and it worked out, got those picks, and it was to your guys' favor. Now, who, in your opinion, Unstoppable? I know that you are technically in this interview, but do you feel like you're the MVP of this game, or would you say that somebody else would be?
No, so this game, I have no idea who the MVP is really. We all had amazing plays, everyone played their hearts out, and truly everybody just showed up in their own way, and we all had impactful frags.
Now, humble to the end. Unstoppable, it was great to have you, honestly. Unless, Maestro, I don't know if you have anything you want to say to Unstoppable. Um, but I know you're here. Unless you have any questions that you want to add on to this interview.
No, I don't think I got anything. It sounds like it was a well played game, and I think Mr. Unstoppable sitting here speaks for itself.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you, Unstoppable. And it was great to have you for this interview. Congratulations on that win. I believe you guys are sitting at the top seed at the moment. I could be wrong. I'm not sure. But without further ado, you're good to go.
Yes, thank you, thank you.
You show me how to dare to love. So tell me what you're thinking of.
a feeling I've been loving. Gotta show you I've been thinking about you day and night. You're always on my mind. Since day one, swear I, baby, knew you were the one. Thinking maybe I could give a life guide to you. Wanna prove it. Got so much love, please don't lose it. So let me give you it all. We can take it slow
All right, everybody, we are back. Welcome back to the Xenon Gaming Link. Once again, we have Homeland Academy versus Outlast Academy. We're gonna take a look at the map bans at the moment. Let's talk about some of these map bans. So we have Sky, Cafe, Chalet, Border Theme, Oregon, and Club Band, as well as Bank. And the decider was Villa. Now let's talk a little bit about Villa, Maestro. What
Um,
what are
so
what are your insights on it?
I'm an angle player, right? I love shotgun holes. I love weird off angles. I like the question marks in the chat. Villa's a great map for that. Anyone with a little bit of creative ability is going to have a good time playing this map, and that's the team that's definitely going to rise and really show that they can play Siege on this map. That's how I feel about Villa personally.
Honestly, I feel like you're right. For me, Villa is pretty much in between. I feel like it can go both ways. To me, it's most. I feel like it's attacker sided. That's just my opinion on the matter. I feel like once you get control of certain areas, it's as good as gone for the defensive team. Now, that's not to say that Homeland can't defend this like they want to, but we're going to have to see how each player works on Villa and which team is going to take it out on the end. Um, Villa has been a very competitive map for a while now, and I feel like, just like I was saying, attacker based, in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely can feel the attacker based part. I don't know. When I get Villa, I get excited to defend. Like I said, I love to just hold stupid angles and really make people question just why they still play this game. I'm definitely I do agree that you'll definitely lose certain parts of Villa. Like if you lose 90 when you're playing AV games, it's like okay, cool. I can no longer rotate. Classic's no longer an option, you know. So I definitely feel like attackers have a lot easier ways to lock him out. Um, but all the sites are good. There's not a site on Villa that I can't sit there and be like, oh wow, I got this site. You know, it's like
Yeah.
it's like when you get tellers and archives on a console. Like who the hell? Why is that still a site? You know,
Right, right.
it's like great.
Now,
I'm playing Call of Duty this match.
a little bit about Villa. Let's talk more of what operators we feel like we might see on this map. What ops do you think might get banned? What ops do you think are going to be played the most on this map?
I think if I'm gonna go down to top three defenders that I think you're likely going to see banned, it's gonna be I'm thinking we're going to go as far as to see Mira banned, which is an obvious for defense. You might see a Finka ban depending how this league feels about LMGs and stuff. If you have a team that's about to play really aggressively, and like you said, Villa's great for attackers taking points on map, then you might see Finka come out if the defending teams feel like they need a little bit of breath there. And finally, I think another good ban you're going to see might be Azami. She is so powerful in the late game and on a map where attackers need to take key positions. If you have Azami playing in the right spot with any other operator supporting, whether it be Thunderbird, Doc, you know, someone that's keeping that aggression up, it's going to
Right.
make it an absolute hellhole to try
And
to get through.
you make a good point because last game we actually saw both of those operators played very, very well. We saw them being played almost every round. Azami, that Finka did a lot of damage when it came to attack. And there were, Finka just has all of that util. She has the nade, she has the Gon 6, she has the LMG. She's just the whole package, man. But back onto that Azami as well. She can just make makeshift shields. She can make angles that you can aggressively hold as a defender. She can block walls. There's just so much that Azami can do. And frankly, I have to agree with you. Those would be my three main bans as well. However, I feel like as well as on defense, there might be an Azami, but on attack, we might see that Finka as well if it's not banned. But I'm thinking that we might also see a bit of Osa play here. So I'm not sure how you feel about that, but I'm going with maybe there'll be an Osa play here.
Osa's an interesting one, right? So when I think of Osa, I've been in a phase lately with Siege where I'm running really dumb ops. I loved Kali day one, so I still play her, but I've been like Kali, Knock, and Osa, right? And the reason Osa fits in there is because when I play Osa, I'm playing to not really contribute. I'm playing to just have fun. I'm gonna be honest. She's got some good stuff you could do with her. We've seen it before, but I'm not playing the game normally if I'm on Osa. I'm gonna be honest. 51,
Right.
51 bullets.
And we are going to be starting now. Homeland Academy versus Outlast Academy. Let's see how this goes. Homeland is going to be on defense first. Outlast is going to be on attack. All right. Let's look towards these operator bands. Now, Maestro, tell us a little bit about what you know about Homeland and Outlast.
So I'm glad you asked me that. I've been doing some 5-second Googling because, as you know, this is my the first game I'll be hosting tonight for Xenon, and I've got to be honest, I know zero. I didn't get through it fast enough. You,
Gotcha.
I was thinking about other things while you were asking me questions as well, so I didn't think of to actually look it up. So, I know zero, and that's the way I like to start these things. I like a
All
good fresh
right.
clean slate. And
Well,
knock is
that's
banned. That
fine.
breaks my heart.
That's a interesting band, the knock band. I I wasn't I wasn't thinking that was going to be a knock band. I was that's pretty interesting in my opinion. Let's see who they ban on defense. Of course, it's going
There
to be
goes the
Mira.
mirror.
Makes sense, you know. Mira ban is it's pretty normal, pretty self-explanatory, you know. You don't want to have to deal with the mirror when you're trying to get control of study or you're trying to push 90 side or whatever the case may be. And our last ban is going to be Valk trying to get rid of that intel. It's always good when you know for a fact that defense they don't have that much intel, so you can drone your little heart's content and try to get that intel for your team instead of
It,
giving them the intel.
Exactly. Yeah, it's always a naturalized case where you see there'll always be an intel op band. It doesn't matter if it's Jackal, it doesn't matter if it's Valkyrie, it doesn't matter if it's Dokkaebi. There's always going to be someone that provides intel that's going to be banned. And this is another point I want to bring up is we're going to see obviously the Finka in the bottom right here, played by Nightmare, but we got Smoke and Azami, and this brings me to another great point. The trifecta of Doom is Smoke, Azami, and Thunderbird. You really can't sit there and tell me that rebuildable barricades, 15-second delay, and infinite health is just not too good. So I'm glad to see that we got a Zombie and Smoke coming out here strong on AV games.
Honestly, yes,
Definitely looking to
yes.
see what the difference they're going to put up here.
Now, this is interesting, right? They don't have any they have the denial, they have the Jaeger, they have that smoke like you were talking about. I'm interested to see if smoke is going to play on that books. Um Pretty much is a default play style. However, it seems like they're going to be doing a bit differently here. Yeah, they are going to have that shield by the stairs.
Love that shield
ADS is
there.
here. Yep. It's always a good idea to have that shield there. You can watch study. You're aware if somebody's coming up your stairs. They do have the alibi as well. And you know a lot of players, even if that alibi is off the board, it's just instinct. You're gonna shoot that alibi. You're gonna
Yeah.
give away you're gonna give away your position.
Now, I think going on what you're asking here, I'm not seeing any shotgun holes down below the bookshelves. I know it's a great way to deny main and possibly access to vault and everything for nades and everything below. Given the fact that they're running Zofia and Sledge, we can probably expect to see a little bit of below work going on, soften them up, maybe get. Oh no, they actually don't have to go for any wall stuff on the bottom here. They can just get the wall free. It can be with Habana here. You're going to see them start droning out Astro now. They're going to start executing into the bathroom.
Now it seems like Outlast is going to go for a straight execution here. We're gonna have somebody. Oh no, Nightmare is gonna decide to get off that rappel. They have control of Master at the moment. They're gonna be trying to push in. They are trying to go for this Astro hold. Now there are at least two Homeland players by this Astro. Tomatoes already got control of Trophy. However, it seems like Homeland actually did push back. They're gonna set up the flank drones to watch their backs. Nightmare almost getting a kill on that Azami. Unfortunately, he's not able to finish it. Harbor is going to get away with his life and be able to live another day.
Yeah, it's crazy how lucky that could have been right there. The frag there, getting them right off 90 would have been a huge power play to take and cut off the rest of backside. They're gonna know where one of the LMGs is. I think they know the Zofia is in by now, so they know what they're working with there. You can see Rooney here, gonna be Gunrider holding this pretty nasty angle here. Going to take a chunk out of Iana here, and they're going to get boosted by the Finka. Going down to the last minute, 10 seconds now. They got to start working towards sight.
Now, Mute is going to be creeping up of red stairs. I'm not sure. They do have a drone there, but I don't think they realize he's there. He's going to get a pick onto Angel. Angel's going to be out for the count, and Mute is going to go back towards main stairs. Hido also took out Gunrider. They're aware. They're going to be pushing into sight. Tomato trying to make a play here. Now, he is going to walk straight into that smoke. However, can he get the pick off the smoke? He is going to get Fishify off of the board. Now, they are planting the bomb. Can they get another pick off? It's looking like they might. No, he's going to get taken off by Mute once again. Spudsack is out for the count. Tomato's going to get another pick onto Blade. It's a 3v2 situation.
2v2 on site, 1v2 coming back stairs, and a zombie is going to go down. I just want to go and point out right now, it just seems to be a thing with Villa, but I've never seen an alibi that isn't master bedroom site. It doesn't matter what site you are on the map. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. There is going to be an alibi master site. And I want to say that the alibi and the Azami, they played very well, slowly bringing it back towards site. They ended up still losing it there in the end because it just kind of came down to raw fragging. But I think they had a very, very clean withdrawal from Master, from Trophy over in that area, bringing it back, keeping communication, allowing Mute to get that kill on the Habana and dropping Diffuser. And then, yeah, it kind of just closed down to fragging there. We saw the smoke sitting Vault, and it's one of those things with smoke where it's like he knew that Zofia was in the smoke. You can hear the audio, and it's one of those decisive factors where you got to be like, do you swing this or do you not? I think the right mistake there, unfortunately, was the one that wasn't made, and I think that's kind of what gave sight right there, was losing that smoke.
Yeah, if only Smoke would have made a decision quicker, and if only that decision was to swing that Finka. He probably thought that Finka was somewhat low, but it's not going to work out like he had hoped. Now we are going to be set off to the second round. The past is the past. The present is the present. Now, we're seeing somewhat of a similar hold here. They're going to be contesting towards Master and Trophy side. Let's see if they can hold this longer than they previously did. They did get to waste Outlast's time previously, but I'm interested to see what they're going to do, if they do anything differently this time around.
Definitely. We are going to see Lion coming out here for Iana instead, so it looks like we might see an even more aggressive take from Master's side. You can see Azami Harbor going to be setting up here in the same 90 angle, and I really do like this angle. Aruni over here playing close on Master. You can already see three of them stacking outside. I will not be surprised if this doesn't go in her favor. We shall see what happens. The Roni is a beast. Sledge cracking open the windows there. Going to be holding that right side window.
All right. We are going to still see Homeland trying to make sure that Outlast can't get control of Astro. Tomato is going to be pushing off of this information while being droned in. Tomato he's going to fall down the hatch. However, there is a player right in front of him. Doesn't know about it though. So they are going to keep on pushing forward. But it's going to break that wall, try to get an angle. Hopefully seeing if anybody rotates off of red. Last time we did see one of the Homeland players rotating off of that red. And again, Nightmare almost taking Harbor's head off once again.
Yeah, that Astro window, it's so funny. If I try to rappel up there, I get hopped out on, I get pre-fired. You know, I can't take that 90 window. I'm honestly afraid to this day and age. And I love playing on windows. It's so awesome to see that every time Nightmare goes up there, it's nearly free real estate. Also, want to point out that Outland taking effective time here. They're clearing, they're droning properly. You can see the head there with the Zofia. He's going to open that up. But I want to say that they're droning, and I'm going to take that back because they almost got killed from the same angle again. They do have good droning on the back end. And once that flank watch comes into play, I think they'll definitely get another clean win out of this. 1 minute left on the clock. We're going to see Alibi rotating back through. Looks like she might come back Astro.
Yep, and I'm not entirely sure if their team does know about it. However, we do see Lion is on his drone. I'm not sure if he's watching the flank or if he's just trying to drone them into sight. Gunrider is going to take out Angel once again. He's going to shoot the Prisma like I told you about before. Now, let's see. Can Tomato get a positioning here? However, he's going to get shot from those stairs. They still don't have a drone watching those stairs. He's going to get shot from Blade. Tomato is out for the count. It's gonna be a 4v3. No, make that a 3v3. Spud's gonna take out Blade. Idol is gonna
Lion
take out
hears him.
Mute. It's a 1v3 situation for Gunrider. Can Gunrider somehow this dub for the team?
Yeah, this is what I said here. You got the Fink and the Lion still on top. You got people coming back with more health than they started. We get the 3v1 situation. They're going to be able to push through. Ronnie's going to take Sledge's head, clear off. They might be getting the calls, might just know here. Definitely hears them by now coming up to study door. That's going to be the Finka going down. Last one should be sitting, I want to say, up in connector here. I don't know if anyone else has had different call for that. It's going to be a Lion, one almost two shot
Sitting
with his
top
gun.
red. He doesn't know he's gonna be taken out
Oh!
by Ido. That is unfortunate. He almost had it. If only he would have checked that corner, but he was running out of time. Now that
Yeah.
was a good try from Homeland there. Almost
One
secured
more.
that for them.
Indeed. One more peek around that corner just to check the stairs close real fast. Pardon me, cannot speak. And the Roni with the help that Lion was on, I think, would have traded positively. Lion would have had to hit a headshot first or just pre-fired. And unfortunate there, that one mischeck did end up losing the round. It's going to put Outlast 2-0 against Homeland as we go into our third round of defense from Homeland. Let's see where they're going next. It looks like
Now
we are Trophy Statue.
Yeah, and we are going to see somewhat of a similar hold. They're going to be picking up that Malusi. I feel like that's trying to slow the Outlast team a little bit more. Now, there is going to be a bit of a roam here and a bit of an extension towards Vault side as well as Bar. So let's see if this can work towards Homeland's favor. We're really hoping that this can somehow change how things have been going for them. However, we're also seeing the same operator choices for Outlast. Are they going to still go for this aggressive push? Most likely, if they get control of that Astro, they might be sitting in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to see Finka coming out here down from the main road, going to be pushing up. She's probably going to take this window control up here inside of Wolf, I believe. I cannot remember the name of that, honestly. Sorry, I'm just so out of it today. We're going to see Iana coming back in on Hito, switching that line back out. I got to be honest, other than having Lion's gun, I didn't see too much effect to him being there. He scanned, people stayed still. It's not year 3 Lion anymore, honestly.
Yeah.
They execute slow enough to where I think Iana is a better call than wow. Real
Tomato
close
just
headshot.
barely hitting that headshot. He's going to miss
Malusi
it.
almost
However,
getting
he's
her
still
face.
there. Does Tomato know that he's still in that same exact spot? He's going to shoot. He's going to be pushing in. He's going to take
Oh
off
my
Blade.
God.
However, Mute is going to take off Tomato. Mute's going to get out of there with his life. Going to be pushing back. However, he wants more of the fight. He's going to take out Spudsack.
He's going to get this third kill here. I can almost feel it. Oh, he's going to rotate away. Mute's definitely holding it down here. And this is what I'm saying. Trophy Statue, you play Aviator games. Look at that. Got the Malusi here. Mute holding it down beautifully in Aviator. One on the stairs. Hito is going to hear, and we think we have one more 90. Can't tell right now. No one's going to be 90, but they're going to rotate through, and I don't see anywhere where Hito doesn't get pressured out here, and that's going to close up the round, giving Homeland their first defensive point on Villain. That's going to take us into round 4.
Yep, they just tried their best to get control. There weren't even gunfights being taken in the actual site. That was just on the extension. They held that study very well as that bar area, and they just Outlast could not do anything to get control. And they slowly got picked off. The Mute was just going off, honestly, getting those picks. He backed off, and then he said, "Oh no, I want some more of this action."
Here's an interesting transition. We have Mozzie and Pulse coming out here. I really like this one, although I'm really shocked that they're going Pulse, even though he is good all around for the downstairs floors. I thought they would be taking Aviator games in this case because they always pushed from above. They didn't really have any bottom clear other than initial droning. I thought Pulse and Mozzie might make a great fit down there. You know, snatch a drone, play Pulse, deny a late game push towards the bottom, as well as keeping them concerned with roam clear. But it does appear we're going to be seeing them played on Kitchen and Memo. So I'm definitely curious to see where they're going to utilize the pulse here.
So I feel like most likely what they're thinking is, with this site, they probably brought that pulse and that Mozzie because that Mozzie with the drone util can guide that pulse as well. We know that
Mhm.
pulse has that scanner. However, with that Mozzie combination, they're gonna have way more intel. So they're basically just going intel ops. We also see that mute is in play, so that's gonna stop them from
Yeah,
even droning if they really want that intel. We know that mute is really good when it comes to stopping intel gathering.
definitely. We are going to see Hito back online. Once again, curious to see what they're going for here. Got Pulse sneaking around in memo. Definitely heard the audio. Whoever that was who came inside, it's going to be Sledge into main and one other, I believe, following them inside.
Oh, and we are
And
gonna see Nightmare get the nade off on mute. That's gonna be that Amazi gone already. He is going to be out for the count.
And that's huge. Now they can drone freely for the most part. Any drones get picked up, they're never going to move again. They know exactly where they are. It's not the biggest deal breaker now if your drone gets mozzied. Still got to play it carefully, though. Going to be 5v4, 2 minutes on the clock. It's really interesting here that uh, Outlast doesn't bring a more dedicated hard breacher. And while I do love Habana myself, um, it's just always interesting to me that you see these push oriented teams, but you don't see someone you don't see a hard breacher willing to make like a breach like Thermite would, like if I was pushing like this in my squad, it's always going to be a Thermite coming out because we want a good opening. We want to be able to get utility through. We want to be able to get everything that needs to be through here. We're going to
Oh,
see Biddle going down here or B died. I don't know how to say. I'm,
I've been calling him Blade. I really hope that that's how it's pronounced. But yeah, Blade is going to be taken out by Hito. Um,
ooh,
Harbor is going to get a pick off a Spud Sack that is going to be their sledge down for the count.
here's that Nitro coming out. Are they going to shoot it in time? No, they're not going to take any health off. Finka is going to boost. That's going to put all players besides Angel up, and immediately that
Oh.
Zofia is going to go down. Going to get the refrag from line. They're pushing into not pantry here. I can't remember that. Dude, I'm not remembering rooms today. I'm so sorry. Normally I have the room knowledge on point. For some reason, the only call that keeps coming back to my head is Canine on Chalet because that's all I've been seeing.
And it doesn't even matter because Outlast is going to be taking this.
See, and this is the reason you take Cabana right here, though. The Type 89 has been insane since her release. That is one of my favorite, one of the most consistent guns to put on a hard breacher with the 3 flashes and the secondary bearing 9. Habana's got a phenomenal kit. It's like I said, I'm always more of a Thermite fan just because I like a good clean breach, but you can't go wrong with the Type 89 bearing 9 combo.
No, you really can. And unfortunately, she doesn't have all the ammo in the world, but it's like you said, she has that bearing 9 that packs a punch. And as well as those flashbangs that always work well with that utility, whether it's getting rid of utility like ADSs or Wamais, or just being able to flame out flash an opponent. So we are
Indeed,
gonna be
yeah.
we're gonna be seeing Mute again, trying to probably put a hold on to Trophy and Stat. So let's see what's going on. However, at the moment, it seems like he's by himself over there. Not sure if this is just a bait or if he's actually gonna try to sneakily play off of this. It's looking like it's gonna be the same kind of execute from before. So let's see how this goes.
Agreed. Yeah, we're gonna see a zombie setting up the usual spots, shield on the table. They're opening up the walls in between sites. Your default stairs, barbed wire. You're going to see 3 of them coming up towards the back. Let me Lion, Zofia, and I think nope, that's not Finka. Who is that last one? Is that the Habana with them? Yeah, that's Angel
That's
on
Habana,
Habana.
yep.
And
Angel's
we're
gonna
going
be pushing off.
straight back into the bathroom. By now, Mute already hears them coming, if not already. Oh, and
Oh
Harbor gets
no.
shut down immediately. Losing the Izami in the first 2 minutes of the round is not a good sign. This push is about to get a little extra real fast.
Nightmare decided, all right, enough's enough. This time you're down and out for this game. I'm gonna get you this time. And he got him. He got him. He
We
definitely got him. Mute's gonna back off. He realizes that's a lost cause. He's not gonna try to fight something like that. He knows that they are down a player. He's gonna play it smart. However, Hito's gonna take out Gunrider. We're gonna have to have Mute push up a little quicker on this hold. Now, again, they don't have any drones on red, so maybe they're not aware of this. Blade is almost going to be taken out by a nade from our boy Nightmare.
This is what I want to point out. Blade here playing 90. 90 is so crucial on Aviator games, and as you can see, the sledge is nading him out. Mute is stuck here on the stairs, and if Blade can't provide support for him to at least Mute to rotate back into sight or punish someone here when they try to cross from the bedroom side over into Aviator onto site, they could have a real problem here. With Blade falling down, he's now stuck to Master. That's going to be 5 people, 3 of which 4 who are upstairs, ready to take your site. Blade is going to get traded out here. They know it's only one person on site now. They know the alibi hasn't made it up the stairs, and it's down to Smoke. A minute and 19. He's going to start throwing these smokes down. That's a long time for Smoke, and they cannot figure out how to get out here. You've got Mute running back and forth between stairs. I don't know what Blade's up to. Blade back upstairs, which is good. Going to try to retake this 90 position.
He's going to get one off 90. That's going to be Spud
huge.
Psych.
That's what they need right there. This 90 pressure needs to exist. Mute finally able to have a staircase to come up to. Might be able to get a cheap frag off of Finka here if the droning, that information isn't up to date here. Pushing back 90. Got to be careful here. It's going to be the Type 89. Going to take his head clean off. We're getting ready to see Finka here. Going to take some shoulder there. Mute's going to get the repeat. She's kicking the nade. Does she hear the audio? She does, and she's going to get that frag off and almost gets herself killed as it comes through.
Yeah, but he got the pick, which was the most important. Oh, but Tomato's going to be taken out by Fistify. Can Angel get that pick off? No, it's going to be shut down by Mute.
That was a phenomenal match, and I want to say it really got put together right back there with 90. When Blade was able to retake 90, take that sledge down, that gave Mute an option to get back on. They were able to have a nice clean rotate. Definitely saved the match there. They were able to figure out the rotate there, and kind of just flip flop where the attack fell apart. Outlast had a great intro. Great everything, but losing that 90 control, they no longer had pressure on the 2 main staircases, the 3 main staircases, actually, if you count Astro coming behind them to get that support back onto site. Little more intel, little less time, and we definitely could have seen an Outlast victory, but Homeland were able to secure it.
All right, and now they are sitting at a 3-2 Homeland with 2 wins so far, and 3 for Outlast at the moment. So this can still go any other way. They are going to go back to that statue and trophy area. So let's see how this works. Mute loves his extensions. He's going to be extending, most likely. Going to be playing off of that vault side. Now, he did do pretty well last time when we saw him over there. He is going to be putting his Banshees down and wants to make sure that he has all those Banshees set up in case Outlast tries to play aggressive. Also, those Banshees work very well for those sound cues. That's pretty much why I love Melusi so much.
Indeed, yeah. Sometimes I get a little fed up with it, and it's like, here's 3 extra intel pieces. My defensive operators normally rotate somewhere in there, whether it's slowing people down or being support. Like I said, Thunderbird comes in a lot, huge Smoke and Mute player. Melusi will come out. It's definitely a great op to have there.
All right, and we are going to see Outlast pushing from kitchen side. They're going to try to all push through that area. It's actually interesting. None of them are actually going to be pushing Study. They realized that last time they did push Study, Mute shut them down, and they weren't able to do anything. So now that they realized what mistakes they went, they're going to try to do a clear from below, maybe try to nade some players from below as well.
Yeah, I got to be honest. Smart thing here, them going all the way around to the other side, because with the players that Homeland are putting out to roam, being Gunrider, Mute, and occasionally Harbor and Blade, just kind of all of them. Pretty much Smoke's the only real one dedicated to site. They have a good roam game, and they know very well that they could get slowed down coming into Study like they did last time. So it's definitely going to be good to see if we can take this pressure over to Master Bedroom. This is going to be a very aggressive Jaeger play. I've never seen someone play Bedroom like this with no ADSs, no nothing.
now let's think about this for a second. That Azami play was pretty nice. It allowed Blade to waste time there. He took off those Hibana pellets that saved them as well as enough time. It is 1:20 into the round, and Outlast still don't have control of anything at the moment. Mute is on the flank. A line scan's going to go through. However, Fistify is taking some shots. Oh, and Blade is going to take out Tomato. Tomato's out for the count. However, Fistify is going to take out Hito. Angel is in Astro, but he's going to be taken out by Fistify once again. Fistify just going on a rampage here.
Sees the
What's
legs
that?
of
Saw
Mute
him.
here, or Harbor here. Gonna see that alibi. Or no, that is the Azami. I cannot operator. Gonna get the
Oh,
right there. It's gonna be a 3v1. All of the players minus Mute are pretty low, and with 150, or I guess 27 rounds in the LMG, this is still very winnable. High damage LMG, decent round capacity if she decides to reload here. This is very well within the feasibility of Nightmare being able to take this home, and it's all going to depend on how they play around each other, how they refrag. You're going to see this first boost coming in here. No nades, one drone. Not sure what the secondary is here for the Finka. My assumption is the Gon 6, and it's going to
oh,
be a straight pop in the mouth.
yep.
Doesn't matter.
And
Boost
Mute
all
is
you
gonna
want. Can't beat angles.
Mute is gonna just
Wow.
slam Nightmare out of existence. That's just amazing. However, we are going to switch around now. Homeland on attack, Outlast on Academy. It was a pretty good 3-3 split. So let's see how this goes. Maybe what Outlast needed is that defensive structured. So
Eh.
maybe they're more better on defense. We're gonna find out in a couple moments. Pretty much almost the same exact hold, except that they're bringing Thunderbird
I am
instead.
happy about this one. I love Thunderbird. I straight up when she came out, I had a funny nickname because of her gadget, how it launched. So I was just like Jaeger with an assault rifle again, something like that, right? I absolutely love this operator. To see her coming out as well alongside this is a more classic team to me. Mute, Smoke, Jaeger. Nothing says consistent, reliable, and well rehearsed because oldest operators in the game because they were when the game came out, right? So to see a team put together like that, I'm definitely interested to see how they're going to hold here, bringing some of the classic operators out. Meanwhile, we're going to be seeing Jackal coming out, Osa as well going to be coming out. So I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with the Homeland. We're going to have at least 4 smokes out here.
Yep. And
Nades.
again, they
Yep.
do have that OSA play, like I mentioned, but it seems like Homeland is going for what seems to be a roam clear. They're scared that somebody's probably going to be extending. Yep, they're going for that study. They're going to make sure that they get control as quick as possible. However, we see Nightmare over there with that Thunderbird trying to maybe contest bookshelves and study. Yep, he's going to be on those main stairs.
And I
So
love this.
nobody.
This is why I love Thunderbird because okay, yeah, she gets drowned out a little bit. You've got support playing, right? But Thunderbird is an operator. Okay, well, as soon as she kills the throne, Thunderbird is an operator where she thrives from another thing of Siege, which is just a common facet, and that's unpredictability, right? You tag her, everyone's like, oh, Thunderbird's tag. Okay, she's got the red cross behind her. She is such an aggressive operator. It takes a lot of coordination to get a good Thunderbird with support out of here. And we're about to see that right here. 90's being held down by Thunderbird. Going to get swung here, taking too long on the drone, but it's not going to matter because she's going to go heal herself back up. And they're going to keep rotating it. No one's clearing below.
Oh,
Never mind. Someone was trying. Jaeger going to pick up that kill on Harbor. Going to be the Jackal down early game. Thunderbird getting those heals now. We're going to see this rotation here.
Now it seems like they still want control of that study side. However, Mute's gonna be pushing up those red stairs. He's looking to walk into sight.
Yeah,
Right.
remember that he's Finka. He's got the bullets, he's got the boost, so he's about to go do something with it. The only thing stopping him on sight is Malusi's. Other than that, nothing can impair him besides nitros and smokes. He definitely has the options here. It's going to give that intel that the shotguns are below. If I'm not mistaken, who is that below? That's not the Mute, is it?
I believe that's actually Hito downstairs. I guess we
Okay.
are gonna find out right now after Blade is trying to nade out what seems to be, I believe, Smoke is the one that's here contesting an angle with the shotgun. He's gonna push off. He's gonna go towards that bomb, try to use that bomb for cover. Now they are gonna be droning in for intel.
And here comes the wall of skills coming in. 2 LMGs, flashes going in. They're going to take off Malusi's head. They're going to, oh no, actually Zofia is not running an LMG. Look at this. Mute's just running around, going to get that frag. They know where he's at. Jaeger can't do anything against this. This is going to be a death sentence here, coming up backstairs, and it's over there. Quick
And
take.
Blade is gonna take that kill. That last kill with the AK, mind you. Not the LMG, like you were just saying, with that AK.
I
Impressive.
got to be honest. I still run that AK because that skin is too good.
It's also a strong gun.
Good.
Like if you can control the recoil that was set on that AK, the gun still slaps, man. The gun still slaps.
Yeah, 100%. We're gonna see Gridlock coming out here. This is always a fun choice because I'm not a fan of this op personally. Phenomenal operator, just never fit in where I was playing. Also, too damn loud. I'll be honest. This operator is louder than every other operator in the game, including Rook. Phenomenal guns though. M249, F20. Definitely a decent kit. Smoke grenades, breaching charges, super shorty. Some of the best anti-roam gadgets in the game, actually, with how early on impacts are used. Those tracks are a real menace. I will say that much. So I'm definitely interested to see how they play her. Hoping to see a bit more coordination on the push. It is unfortunate that you had someone like Jackal who knew there was someone downstairs, was pushing solo, and still managed to lose that fight to Jaeger. It just came down to fragging in the end. But if you're going to send people off to roam clear like that, they got to have support, and definitely a big thing there, losing Harbor early on.
Now, interesting here, we are going to have the Pulse and the Ella for this hold. Now, we do see that Pulse playing in library area, reinforcing those walls, going to be extending into that library area. He wants to try to get a C4 off or some type of pick off. We're going to see somewhat of a spread out from Homeland Academy. Blade is going to be going towards, I believe he's going to play towards Boar area. I'm not sure what's going on. Nightmare holding this angle through study. Not sure what's going on here. He's going to see if he could get a pick through this window. However, we have Spudsack, bottom main. We have Hito inside, playing like a boss.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see they're going to be stacking up on this window again. One bathroom, two windows, long angles open up. Going to be Nightmare here with the Head Ripper 9000.
Go see somebody. Is he going to get that C4 off? No, because he's in the tub. You can't shoot anybody through that tub. Oh, don't C4 each other now. Spudsack is going to take out Blade. Blade is out for the count. And if only Angel knew that that's the tub and you can't C4 someone through the tub.
That's unfortunate. They actually did manage to burn both nitros here. Now you have a smoke that basically, or you have Mute who needs to rotate upstairs now. He's got no purpose down here anymore, other than shotgunning through the floor if they choose to use him in such capacity. Pulse is below. Also, still the availability to deny all the plants down below. Blade being down is going to be able. They're not going to be able to burn as much utility here. Actually, no ADS is from Jaeger. That won't be a problem. You see, they're getting ready to cook this nade.
Now, Mute and Homeland are there. Homeland is at a 4v5 at the moment. So even though those two C4s are gone, Outlast is sitting at a good spot. There's still two roamers upstairs. They're trying to deny this upstairs hold.
Yeah, definitely.
Homeland.
Outlast is doing great in the ways of holding people down. We are going to see Nightmare going to get taken down by Sledge here. They're going to trade out Mute as well. Now it's going to be a 3v4 in favor of Outlast. 50 seconds on the clock. They're starting to open up the floors. Nomad getting in place. Havana setting up pantry, and I think we still have Sledge, who is upstairs. Yep, open up more of the holes in the floor above kitchen while Nomad does a little bit of flank watch. Coming down to the last 35 seconds, going to be a 3v3 now, as they did lose the Malusi. Still holding this pantry angle, getting ready to cook this wall open. It's going to be jammed more than likely.
No, and it's not, because that jammer got taken out whiles back. Now, Harbor is going to be trying to push into sight. It's a 3v... No, it's a 2v3. It's a 2v2. Supply is going to trade out Tomato. Tomato's out for the count. Hito and Angel are going to be holding an aggressive angle, and they're going to take out Homeland Academy. Outlast wins it out.
I gotta say, sorry for laughing there, but nothing defines Villa like a Malusi charge in the absolute middle of the floor between Astro Stairs, Mud Room, and the entry to kitchen. Shooting it and then getting swung and shot in the mouth by a Mute. Nothing describes Villa in the Siege community as a nutshell. That was too funny to me. He cleared, he looked, he shot, and just instant swing. It doesn't get better than that.
And I mean, it's like we were talking about that Banshee does more than just slow those opponents down.
Exactly.
If it wasn't for that noise notification, Mute doesn't know that he's there, but he does, because it makes such an insane amount of noise. It slows the opponent down. And although he did get refragged, he managed to take a pick off, and it was the Finka, which was the main operator that you wanted to take out.
Definitely. We are going to see the Wamai coming out here and the Kaid. Gridlock back as an option for Homeland, got subs out for Nomad. It's Sledge going to be looking to move to Lion here. So we're never going to see a whole different team here, mainly different team here in terms of operators for their flank watch as well as their intel.
All
Going to see
right.
this aviator game setup, going to open up the wall, some standard setup here.
Now
No
it's
shield.
nope. It's gonna look like a bit differently, you know, they're opening up those walls, trying to make it so that they have angles to watch from. They still have this extension. They brought newer ops that we weren't seeing beforehand. We have an Aruni, we have that same Azami, we have the Womai, and we have the Cade.
Yeah, definitely. K definitely gonna be able to take care of those walls. It's gonna be the first time where they're actually gonna have to deal with more wall denial than just a meet. They're gonna have to look for those K traps. Wamai is gonna be a big one here. They're gonna have to either shoot those out manually or just burn them. Definitely gonna be a lot of options there. So we can see once again we're gonna study push
Oh,
an incredibly aggressive a Rooney here, gonna take her down, drop the hatch, mute suffering some damage. We might see Spud Sack looking to rotate back up Astro. Personal recommendation
oh.
would be falling back.
And Mew just barely realizes that Hito is still there. They had no idea that each other were in lines of sight. They didn't know that both of them were looking at each other. But Hito is going to be able to get away with his life. And as for that Finka has those stems. He's gonna be stemming up. He's in a good position here.
Yeah, I think overall definitely going to be in a good position here. Once again, losing that Zofia early on does do a lot of disservice to them. That's a lot of utility clear. Mize to be burned. That's just not there anymore. Going to be going for the second nade here. Finka going to go back for their staircase. No longer playing there anymore. 90 free for the taking. Only got one person playing below Mudroom, and it looks like Lion might be about to go encounter this person down there. No, he's still hanging out on the rappel.
Now Harbor does know that there is someone below him in bathroom by library. He is gonna back off of it though, try to switch his positioning up, probably maybe go through study and try to do a play from there. Fi is gonna take some damage. I'm not actually sure where he took that damage from. I'm guessing it was through
Oh my
maps. Harbor
gosh.
is going to be pushing through study. He does take some damage. And he's gonna get tomato to the wall.
See, that's where that line really comes in useful.
And
There.
he takes out Hito
Pick up
as
that second
well.
frag. I love to see that right there. You get into a position where and especially because he didn't know they were going to be standing there when he shot down. I mean, who the hell's standing in the middle of study this late in the round? But when you know they're all coming from master side, it makes sense to do. And we're going to see two of them pushing the doorway here now. Going to reset that Aruni gate. Going to miss the hit scan there, but it doesn't matter because Aruni is just going to pick up the hard work herself. Nightmare going to be taking down Harbor, and that's going to leave our good friend Gridlock here in a 2v1 situation. F90 is going to go in, get the headshot, going to swing around study, going to get that bulletproof cam down. Got to go pick up the fuser. Nightmare is going to rotate around. Does she know where she is? She's out of track stingers. She's going to have to fight this one out by hand. 10 seconds left on the clock.
No, he has no
Rotating
idea that
around
he's
behind
in
bar.
sight. No,
And it looks like
Fistify.
Fistify is just going to be given the round here. He definitely had time to try to make something happen here, but he just didn't know where he was. Definitely unfortunate there. There's that lag of intel right at the end. And I one of the best ops to be in a position if he one track stinger left, could have easily locked down the vault. Nothing Wamai could have done there except hard rotate.
Yep. Fistify just unfortunately thought that he had rotated out of sight. He thought that he was gonna try contest him, but that's not what happened. No, Nightmare decided, no, I'm going back to sight. I'm gonna live another day. I'm not gonna I'm gonna play this more smart. I'm not gonna do anything dumb. I'm just gonna try to play for time. Fistify just tried to make a play and just couldn't. But new round. We're at round 10 right now. Outlast sitting at 5 round wins, as well as Homeland sitting at 4. Still can go anyone's. This is still sitting at anybody's win. Homeland,
Indeed,
yeah, they almost won that out. They could have made a play, but like I said, Fistify just didn't know what was going on. But that's fine because they can still pull out this dub.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to see Hito over here setting up the Azami, going to be setting up those walls for study or aviator game study over in that area. We are going to see the Thunderbird posting up on the A bomb site with the shield. Going to be interesting here as we're not seeing any operators with nades coming out other than Finka. So whether those nades get used there, because I know you can actually nade that angle off from the roof still. Definitely going to be interesting to see if that angle gets utilized at all or if it gets taken out. We're going to see
All
a
right.
full study side push, actual SWAT team stuff coming up in here. Hito has definitely got a lot coming to him. Probably expect 1 to 2 droning, 1 pushing, and the other intel op going to be lying here, probably pushing as well.
Right. Fissified droning, making sure that nobody's on books. They're gonna be walking in most likely. Oh, but they gotta be careful with those head holes. He's gonna mute almost taken out by the
Now, Zombie's
Azami.
got to make a decision here. The Zombie knows it's an LMG. Is he going to take this fight? And he is. And he's going to bring that finger right back down. No health. No room for the Wicked. They are playing Study so aggressively. However, Blade going to get around past 90. And this is huge here because if they don't react to this, we can see Angel ready to hold that 90, take that long fight with the MP5, and he's not going to win it. This is about to tear apart the defense here if they cannot get that side angles locked back in. And they just gave it up. It's a 5v2 now. They're separated, and it's down to Smoke to try to hold these angles. Blade is going to get taken out back on that rotate, and it's a 5v1. No doubt in my mind they're not just going to draw down and collapse them. They can play full trades here. This round is going straight to Homeland.
Now they did miss Drone Tomato. Oh, but no, they are going to actually find out exactly where he is. Correction, they knew exactly where he was. There was a drone on him. I must have just not seen it. And he's gonna be taken out at last. Unfortunately, losing that round. It's gonna be a 5v5 at the moment. They are both sitting in a pretty good spot. It's still anybody else's game. This could go to OT, or Homeland might end up taking it. I'm swinging a little bit towards Homeland. I don't know.
I think Homeland definitely has a chance here on attack. They're bringing the right operators. They're bringing the right utility. They're clearing what they need to clear. They're taking key positions. They're reacting where they need to react to here, and that's huge in the game of Siege in general. And you can definitely see that when, like I said, going flawless round like that, they basically cut the neck right off when they cut off Study from the 90.
Alrighty. Now they are going to be going downstairs into kitchen. Now, last time they went here, it was a pretty well-rounded round. They held it pretty well in the end. They were able to take out that Finca, which was the Homeland's most viable op at the time, with that Banshee, and Mute just swung off of that information and got that kill. So they did end up winning that round before, but this is a new round. So let's see what's gonna go and happen here. Hito's going to be playing upstairs in study side. We are gonna see another 2 players upstairs. We see that Ella roaming around statuary side slash trophy side.
And yeah, we're gonna see Hito coming back over to Master here. Gunrider still over there down in Fountain Spawn, gonna be droning out for whoever's pushing up, and we already have Blade and Mute posted up, ready to take Study and Bookshelves. They're gonna be taking this 90 once again, just clearing the map from side to side as you typically do with Villa. Going to be coming in here real fast, boosted, checking those stairs. They've had a lot of plays off of those stairs. They know to check them. Going to get the refrags off 90, and they're working their way right into Stite. No one's going to be playing Statue. And it looks like they might have upstairs to themselves. And this is a big deal, even though, once again, they're losing this Sophia. I don't remember if Sophia's running breaches, but for a site like Kitchen, being able to open up a lot of that floor matters. And losing the Zoe the way they did, excuse me, definitely going to slow things down just a little bit, but definitely still room to work here. And you see the Nomad getting ready to
And not
take
just
on
that,
Nightmare.
that Finca's just taken out by Nightmare. Nightmare took out that Finca. That's another LMG out for the count. Not just an LMG, but that's basically their doc. That's their healer. That's one of their most important operators. They do have top control, but they're at 1:30. They got to do something here.
We're going to see them start opening up the floors. Pulse with the Nitro here. 1 impact left. With the Zombie, the Zombie being dead, they're not going to be able to cover up any of these holes. They're going to have to play it out. I think they're definitely in a lot more comfortable position here, being Outlast, being this 4v3 advantage position here. We'll have to see. They're definitely going to keep it locked down to the first floor as we near the end of the first minute and a half.
Oh, Harbor almost walking into that C4. Actually, he just barely escaped it. I correct myself. If he didn't move from that area, he would have gotten C4'd. So a good job if Harbor just moving out of that area.
Indeed, yeah. And we see him still breaking up above kitchen and a little bit of memo there. Gonna be breaking up above the DJ table up there. Fistify holding that long angle across. Harbor is gonna make it a 3v3 as they take down the smoke, and that's gonna be huge because now all they have to do is get the Malusi traps and just kill. They no longer have to worry about getting pushed out by AoE. And they're
Now
gonna
look at
have a
this.
little bit more time on their side in that regard here.
Now
Once again.
remember, Spud is sitting in this corner. I believe there's a Banshee as well, but they are gonna need that Banshee. Or they're gonna flash him, make sure that they don't see him.
Oh yeah, they
Sify
weren't
is
having
gonna
that
take
this
out Spud
time.
Stack. However, Spud Stack taken out by Nightmare. Nightmare taken out by Harbor. And Angel
This
is gonna take out Harbor. It's a 1v1 situation. Gunrider versus Angel. Can Gunrider win this out for his team? Or is Angel going to save this round?
And I gotta say, I want to believe that a communication breakdown happened here because you had Habana sitting here on this window for so long. Two whole people just got traded out mudroom, and Habana's still in the window. And while we know that the Malusi's sitting there, there's got to be some level of execution, whether it's even a simple flashbang or anything. When you get to those last like 40 seconds and you're collapsing like that, that communication needs to be there. And I feel like having Gunrider just out there, not really reacting in time, and whether that was the communication on him if he knew what was happening, or whether he just didn't act in the time. I think definitely a big thing there. We did see that they were able to, they being Outlast, were able to hold down that round pretty nicely right at the end there with the refrags.
Yeah, it was just unfortunate. However, we will never know how that round could have ended. Would they have won that round if Gunrider was right there with them? Probably, maybe not. Maybe it would have ended the same way. We will never know because it never happened. We can only speculate. However, it's a new round. It is match point for Outlast as well as Homeland. Homeland need to find a way to bring this to OT. This is their last chance. Now, again, this is only for seeding. However, this can be important. This is still an important match if you care about seeding.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah. Looking at it here, like you said, 5-6 match point in Outlast favors. I won't be surprised if we get an OT here. It seems like it's been very neck and neck. Only really 1 point games. No breakaway except for the first round, opening rounds where it was 2-0. We're gonna see Hito setting up upstairs again. Master gonna be locking off that window so they can't get wall banged. I believe the site are they AV Games? Yes, they are.
now Harbor is going to be picking that Twitch. We haven't seen much of that. We're gonna stick to that Habana. Pretty much the same ops that we've seen throughout this entire matchup. Harbor is going to be pushing up through Boar, and Mute and Fistify, as well as Blade, are going to be going for this master push. Oh, actually, make that all four of them. Oh,
All
Nightmare's going to
four
take
of
out
them,
Harbor.
indeed.
He's out for the count, and he's going to be gone. That's the Twitch that we were just talking about.
You know, I will add on to the fact what you said about having specific ops here pretty much the whole game, and that is kind of one of the things that disappoints me. Even with the ban being up, they no longer have that quarantine phase for Pro League and everything else. And I don't know if these leagues follow that. I would assume they mimic it pretty closely. I'm kind of sad that we didn't get to see Thorn or Sense. You know, I was really hoping to see maybe one or two, maybe like an appearance from either of those operators, given how fresh they are to the roster. Well, actually, Thorn is older than Azami, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But
And we
definitely
do see Nightmare take off Blade. We're gonna see a nade go off on 90. Oh my god, Nightmare is going to take off Mew. It's a 2v5 situation, and it's looking like this might be the end for Homeland. Can they somehow come up with something to get this to overtime? It's a
that's
minute and
huge right
20.
there. I want to know where the nade go. I'm guessing it just stuck completely to the pillar and didn't even take out the Azami barricade. It was needed to aim it a little bit more left and right, and it just didn't get there. You can kind of see, yeah. You can
How
see
they
where it exploded down there on the floor. Yeah, it bounced off the wall and came back into the hallway. Unfortunately, didn't get these Azami barricades. It's going to be the default angles here. Smoke working it there. They know they're not going to have any room to work this. Smoke's got this for the next minute. They have to push study door. And we are going to see what looks like Malusi, I believe, holding that on the table. Nope, that's going to be. I
Oh.
want to say it's the Aruni holding the table right here. I feel like never
Oh
mind.
my god, Gunrider is just going to slam Angel into the no zone. and
And they're just
Fisify taking so much
throwing it at
damage. If he walks in, if both of them even try to walk through that smoke, they're dead. But they might be dead either way. There are 25 seconds left on the board. Can they make a play? They're gonna have to try. They have to do something here. It's gonna take a reposition there. Oh, and they're going to lose that Spud Sack with the last kill of the game. Gonna be taking both heads off. And that's going to be Outlast Academy 7-5. They're going to be the winners of this match.
Yeah, congratulations to Outcast. They definitely held it together. That defense was once again swift. They had these last like 3 matches by Outcast were definitely incredibly swift on their or the last 2 on their defense. Um, yeah, I just sorry, I'm a little at loss for words, I guess, in the regard. I'm just we had it fell apart so fast. Like I said, the nade missed. Instant repeat from the Azami took off the Finka's head. Just kind of a lot happened there so fast. The next thing you know, it was a 2v5 and a 2v5 with all of that utility. It's just damn. I got not much more to say for it, but it definitely was a very good match to watch. I'm glad it wasn't a blowout match. I am glad that we were able to get a good game here and see some really good plays from both sides.
Yeah, and it was really an outstanding match. Honestly, in my opinion, it was better than the first matchup. And not to say that none of the players from the game before didn't really do well. It's just the fact that this one was more of that back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and we weren't really seeing a very well-rounded matchup in the first game. So I'm just really happy to see that this one was more of a competition.
Yeah, you definitely saw your push and pull. You saw them fighting to get areas back up. Once again, want to bring back that round where Blade was able to open it back up so Mute could get back upstairs. You definitely saw them playing around the map. It wasn't just Call of Duty in disguise. It wasn't just runouts and cheap angles. They were playing the map and they were playing each other's strategies, and it was a very good quality game to see because of that. Definitely a lot
Yeah.
to learn here.
All right. And we are being let know that we have an interview. So we're just going to wait for that.
Let me know when you're heading up. Not yet, we'll come, baby, suck it up. Do it so good, make a brother wanna cut a rub. Time flies when you sit it on my taste buds. Tastes good.
All right, everybody. And we have an interview with our boy Angel. Angel, how are you doing today?
I'd say considering we won, pretty good.
Yep, that's true. That's true. You guys did win. You guys wanted that game. And hey, 7-5, not too bad, not too bad. So basically, how did you feel throughout that entire match?
Honestly, we took this match. We've throughout this past week, we've kind of been, you know, stepping back and kind of focusing mainly on our basics. So a lot of the things we did, we didn't really prep or anything like that. We were just kind of trying new things, and things like that. Just kind of focusing on our basics really. So I think overall it went. It was a lot closer than we wanted it to, but I think we have a lot to improve on, and this is a great start for us.
Nice, nice. That's good to hear. You know, you guys really fought today, and it seemed like you guys just wanted it more than Homeland did. So that good for you, man. Who would you say, in your opinion? I know we have you here uh as an interviewee, but do you think that you would be the one getting the MVP, or do you think that goes to someone else?
Oh no, I personally don't think I ever should get the MVP. Um, I'm just the IGO, bro. Like I couldn't do anything without these guys entering and our flex players and everything. So like honestly, I couldn't do it without our entries and everyone. But
Uh,
I think personally, I think the MVP honestly will probably have to go to Nightmare for that last round, getting that little nice 3K. Spud closed it out with the last two, but with the little 3K really set us up to win that round and the game as well.
Yeah, we saw a lot from Nightmare, especially on that 90 window when he was trying to pick off that Azami each and every round. I had like 2 rounds in a row. He tried to take that Azami out, and finally the third one, he managed to take him out. It was a really great display. Angel, one more thing I want to add before Maestro probably wants to say something as well. Um, what are you guys looking to do in the playoffs? Are you guys ready?
I'd like to think so. I think in the playoffs, it's a completely different atmosphere than these group stages. So I think individually and as a team, we'll definitely be more prepared and more established as far as who we're playing and to kind of understand how they're playing and to adapt and things like that. So I'm
Gotcha.
I'm excited. We're excited for the playoffs.
All right. Well, Maestro, is there anything you want to add?
Not really. Definitely can show. You pointed out that you were the IGL there, and you can definitely see the calls being made at the right time. You can see that you were well in control of that. So I definitely want to give a little shout out to that. You can definitely just see gameplay and communication, even when we don't have access to player comms or anything like that. So definitely, congratulations to you for getting this win, as well as leading, as you said, your guys up here and being very modest about it. I can always appreciate a humble IGL who recognizes that he leads his players out before him, and you all get the results together. So once again, congrats and good luck with the playoffs.
Yeah, that's all I have to say as well. Congrats, Angel, and good luck in those playoffs. I hope you guys do great.
Thank you very much.
All right. You're good to go, Angel. Have a great night.
Thank you. Thank you. You too.
Have a great night.